The Modern Warfare 2 campaign impressions are in. I've played the game for close to 3 hours. I'm to mission 7, I believe. I'm going to give you all of my thoughts in this video about just how good this game is. You do not want to skip this Call of Duty. Even if you are traditionally somebody who skips Call of Duty, I'm going to try to convince you that this game is well worth it. I'm going to put all my thoughts right here at the beginning of the video so you don't have to go searching for them. It is a live stream, so it's a longer video. Make sure you hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss these live streams. We put everything in the form of an update right here at the beginning of the video. This is a Reforge update. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign is here. People are jumping in to the Modern Warfare 2 early access of the campaign, and I played the game for about 3 hours, got through 6 missions, and I want to give you my first impressions, everything from graphics to the performance to the cinematics to the voice acting. This game is absolutely immaculate. If you like these short updates, hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss these. So I want to first talk about graphics. Undeniably, this is the best looking shooter I have ever played. I don't think I've ever played anything that is up to this level of graphical fidelity in a shooter. Shooters often have things in them that just don't look as polished or as good, and this thing looked incredible. The lighting, the night vision, the environments, this is truly a next-gen game. There was a lot of dialogue recently questioning whether or not next-gen consoles were truly going to usher in a next-gen experience, and this game's campaign is here to say these consoles are strong and they can deliver an amazing experience. Even little things like damp bricks in the one city, this sort of wet cobblestone street, it truly looks almost real life in many of the sequences. Even the graphics and the cinematics I'll talk about shortly, they look like real people. Now, performance-wise, you might say, oh, hey, there's all this great lighting, there's all this great stuff. How does it run? It's rock solid. I had 0 issues. I ran the 120 hertz mode on my TV last night, and it was breathtaking. My wife remarked, she's like, it looks real. She's like, it looks like real life, saying, you know, maybe she joked when she was watching one of the cinematics. She's like, well, maybe these people could help out with She-Hulk because it just looks so incredible. A good amount of customization is there as well if you want to tweak some of the performance to your liking. Now, gameplay. The most important part, right, is the gameplay. Probably the most fun Call of Duty campaign I have ever played. This is a memorable game. I'm really enjoying it. I wanted to keep playing. I wanted to keep going. They change it up in so many ways. They're sort of changing what you're doing in the different missions, but it doesn't feel like the sort of cheap cliche of, oh, it's time for a car mission now. It truly gives you a dynamic experience, a varied experience. You're not always doing sort of the same things. The AI is actually really tough on regular. I died a number of times. I think the harder difficulties in the campaign, I think Spec Ops and the raids are likely going to be very challenging. Now, I'm hoping that it won't be challenging in the annoying ways that Call of Duty games of old are challenging, where as soon as you step out, you get shot. There were a few times I felt like there was this aimbot cheapness to the AI. This is a pretty minor gripe, but there were some times that I died and sort of felt like that didn't really feel fair. I mean, you kind of put me in the middle of nowhere, and then these guys aren't missing, and this is just on regular. So not really a complaint, but I do wonder if they've overtuned some of the AI. What's that going to feel like on veteran? What's that going to feel like in the raids? As far as the gun handling, I think they handled incredibly well. Mission design is great. Sniping feels super satisfying. I don't have any gripes in the gameplay other than a few of the deaths and the enemy AI accuracy seeming maybe being a little overtuned, but overall, I give the campaign gameplay full marks. As far as the story goes, I think it's well-paced. I think it's immediately interesting. It sort of feels like a TV show, like a movie or a series. Catching up on the 2019 cutscenes was, I think, a perfect lead-up to this. It really got me excited to jump in with the new team. The characters, the writing, the setup, it's excellent. It doesn't feel cliche or predictable. There's good twists, there's good turns, there's good foreshadowing that might end up being fake-outs. There's definitely some early things that happen that make you think, hey, is that person going to do X, Y, or Z? They do a lot of that. The voice acting, I think, is some of the best in the industry. I just played Uncharted 4, which is one of the games that's hailed as having some of the best voice acting because they have some of the best voice actors in that game. You know, Troy Baker and Nolan North, as well as others. But I feel that Modern Warfare 2 is on par with a game like Uncharted. The voice acting is at the highest caliber that you will get in the gaming industry. It is solid. It's tied to very good character design, top-notch mocap. It really sells the story, which leads to the cinematics. It honestly feels like you're watching a big-budget production. It kind of makes me want a COD TV series the likes of 24. The character design shows what next-gen games should aim for. As I said, my wife was watching. She's like, they look real. She's, and she made the quip about She-Hulk. Last but certainly not least, I really think this one's going to get passed over by a lot of people. The sound design, okay? This is probably the thing that many folks, they're not going to hear this. It's going to be lost on them. Some people don't play with headphones. Some people play with the sound down. They're just not interested. Listen, play with a good pair of headphones. Turn your TV up, right? Get your surround sound turned on. The sound design in Modern Warfare 2 is probably some of the best I've ever heard. The gun impact, the way that it feels on your ears, the way that it sort of distorts in a good way, not a bad way, like right when gunfire's happening, your ears almost sort of distort around the sounds. The echoing, the sound of the guns in your hand and the gunshots from far away, from up close, out in the open, the big echoey feel of open field combat. It's immaculate. It sounds wonderful. Anybody that's going to play a shooter from here on out is probably going to compare everything to Modern Warfare 2. There's no doubt in my mind. I have never played a shooter that sounds this good. I just haven't. I want to know what you think. If you watched footage, have you played it yourself? Leave a comment below. Head over to Reforge Gaming. That's where you can interact with me live and let me know what you think of this game. I'm going to definitely try and finish this on my live streams over there. As always, if you like these quick updates, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see the rest of you right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. That actually is one of my primary concerns. I'm like, so many people are going to miss out on this audio because they're going to be too busy, wanting to jump in, and they're not going to maybe turn their TV up, or they're maybe, I know people that kind of play with the sound down, right? They don't always, turn their sound all the way up, and I think that's a huge detriment to your enjoyment of this game. The sound design is honestly some of the best I've ever heard. Yo, what's good, feed? Good to see you in the chat. Keep talking dirty to me, Lono. Sounds awesome. Guys, make sure and smash that like button. Let's have a really strong start to the day. Let's set our sights on 200 likes. The Modern Warfare 2 campaign first impressions. I have, no complaints. I mean, the AI, a couple of times I felt like the enemies were maybe a little too crazy accurate, and I'm only playing it on regular, right? So, to me, that's something that they could maybe tune down. It does make me a little bit concerned about how they're going to handle Spec Ops and raids with respect to making them really difficult. Like, what's that going to look like? The water level with the assassinations on the docks, yeah. I should have said at the beginning of the video I wouldn't be saying any spoilers. I probably should have said that. I'm not going to be saying any spoilers. You don't need to say spoilers to do first impressions. Only played the first 2 missions so far, but I'm already so impressed. Yo, what's good, Hex? This is what next-gen gaming should feel like. Like, without a doubt in my mind, this is what next-gen should feel like. All these people talking about how, these next-gen consoles might not be that strong. It's just undeniable at this point that is not true. It is simply not true. These next-gen consoles can deliver truly stellar gameplay. And it has nothing to do with lighting or anything like that. Games can be optimized to run and look incredibly well. Shooting dudes on the dock with a pistol while I'm under the water was nutty. Yeah. Best beat the game last night. Took me over 9 hours. Okay, so it took you. Okay, we were guessing it was going to be longer than 6 when we looked at the mission count. I was like, yeah, this one's going to take a while. I don't think we're beating this in 6. Eugene says, playing on veteran, I have a few spots where something really cool is happening and the game gets in the way. Like sometimes devs need to let these set pieces just run for the awesomeness. Yeah, there are some times where I feel like they're really trying to funnel you. They want you to do something in a particular way. I felt that a couple of times too, Eugene. I was like, man, just kind of let me do my thing here, you know? It's a very minor gripe. I think moments like that stand out because the game is so dadgum perfect that even the slightest flaw, you're like, hey man, let me do my thing, right? Took me about 7 hours to complete. The AI is effing hard. Yeah, the AI is very, very ruthless. They don't lay off, man. They give it to you. Sven says, holy crap, walking around that city. Yeah, I don't know how you could play this game and listen to anybody talk. Listen to anybody talk about how these consoles aren't strong enough. I mean, Call of Duty is throwing down the gauntlet. Absolutely throwing down the gauntlet. Sniping mission you're talking? Yeah, the sniping mission got a little bit like that. It's like, okay, give me the freedom to do what I want. Again, no spoilers. There's a sniping mission. That's not a spoiler. And it was like, give me the freedom to kind of approach this the way that I want, but then it was almost like it punished me for getting creative. I couldn't see the guys when I was like laying in the grass. The driving mission is the next mission that I have. But the sniping mission, you end up in the grass, and it's like, you can't see the enemies. It's like, get out of the way, don't let them see you, move really slow. And it's like, okay, I can't see them, you know? Yo, good morning, Liz, how are you? First off, hats off to Infinity Ward and their IW9 engine. Looked and sounded amazing over stream. Anything noteworthy with the DualSense haptics? I didn't get the sense that they were really doing much with the haptics. I mean, Eugene could chime in because I know he played last night. I didn't feel anything specific. It felt good, but I wasn't like, ooh, my haptics. The only thing the haptics did was there was times I was hiding in the bushes and it would do like this pulse thing. But other than that, I wasn't sure. I wasn't honestly sure what that was supposed to be. Was that like I'm in danger? They're nearby. They can see me. I don't know. So I didn't sense that they were doing much with the haptics. Repositioned to line them up. I was running back and forth all across the ridgeline. That's what I'm saying, Chris. I was all over the place, man. My man's up on the ridge being like repositioned to get a 2-for-1. I'm like, bro, you realize I got to go like 70 yards that way in order to change the enemy's AI positioning. Like, come on. It wasn't anything crazy. They were good. Yeah. Guys, so many people here already this morning. Smash that like button. Give me 50 more likes. If we have a strong like right out of the gate, it'll really, really help us. It'll really, really help us. Oh, I probably should have did a pinned comment on that dadgum short is what I should have done. My little short's taken off. Let's do that. I'm going to start trying to put little pinned comments like, hey, I'm live streaming this right now. Let's go. There's no comments. Live streaming my Modern Warfare 2 campaign first impressions right now. There we go. And then we'll just pin that at the top. Because that little... I uploaded my stealth fail. It's like a 7-second clip. It's just really funny. I decided to give people some funny shorts. All the people hating on my Dead Space short, they all gathered together and they all mass reported it, and we got it sorted out. YouTube took care of us. It was like, come on, guys. It's just a short about a video game. 120 hertz and sound design, right? I couldn't believe it. So I installed it on my. I have a second PS5. Because my wife and I wanted to play play some co-op games together, and so I installed it over there, and I played it on my other login so I could start over fresh. I was in disbelief. Like night vision on that giant TV you guys got me with 120 hertz was breathtaking. What was reported? I had that Dead Space short where I said it looks bad and looks plastic. There must be a subreddit somewhere of just a bunch of butthurt fanboys, and they're all sending each other to the video. Because there were comments with like 800 likes, and I was like, well, you're all coming here and like hating on the video. I could tell because the one guy said, oh, this is the guy everybody's talking about. He like said it in the comment. Well, some guy left a comment last night that said, get effed. And then the video was not flagged as something like not age appropriate or something. So I appealed it, and it got overturned within like a couple of hours. So they were literally trying to hurt the video, because I started telling them, it's like, you guys are all coming here, and the videos, it has like 40,000 views now. Thanks. Like, you can't ratio a YouTube video. Like, you can, but it doesn't hurt it. It doesn't hurt it. I turned that 120 hertz mode on, fully expecting to turn it off, and I was just amazed. I couldn't believe it, Eugene. I was literally playing that night vision mission, and my jaw was just dropped. I was like, I can't believe I'm playing this game. Like, as somebody who played the very first Call of Duty all the way to now, I was like, this is what we've always wanted from Call of Duty. This is it right here. We're playing it. We are playing the true next-gen Call of Duty experience. Players on console have been able to connect a keyboard, press F6 on the main screen, and access the loadouts and firing range screens in Modern Warfare 2. Oh, that's hilarious. Call of Duty's always been 60 FPS since the 360 days. I think so, maybe. I don't know. Looks just as good on the X. I would imagine, OG Boxer, that it looks just as good on the X. I see no reason why it wouldn't run great on the X. The X is the Xbox Series X is equal to the PS5. I don't see why it wouldn't run immaculately on the Series X. I see no reason to question that. It probably runs great over there. As everyone get crazy, I need hands on Xbox Series X and buy MW2. Looks the same as the X as the PS5. Yeah, I think all the graphical comparisons, the Series X and the PS5 are tied, basically. It's immaculate. See, this is why the other day when I covered Gotham Knights, I said, stop blaming consoles for your crap game. And then Modern Warfare 2 walks in the room and is like, Giga Chad just throwing it on the table. Just a sleeping bag sized, just bam, here it is. You don't know how to optimize your games, is what Infinity Ward said. They walked into the room and Infinity Ward was like, y'all don't know what you're doing, and it's obvious, and it's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? This narrative, I love. I absolutely love that people were trying to run with this narrative that, like, oh man, these frickin' consoles just aren't strong enough. And Modern Warfare 2 walks in the room and is like, sit down and shut up. Just be quiet, okay? These consoles are plenty strong enough. You just don't know what the frick you're doing, right? Everyone complaining about Gotham Knights, and here they are to play the same game for the 1000th time. Tommy, tell me you're drinking copium and that you're butthurt without telling me that you're drinking copium and that you're butthurt. Nobody is playing the same game for the 1000th time. I have played every Call of Duty up to Black Ops 3, and I'm here to tell you, I took a break from the game because I got sick of it. I have never played a Call of Duty like this. I've never played a shooter like this. This is a generation-defining game. People are going to turn around and look at Modern Warfare 2 and say, that's the archetype. You want to make a shooter? You want to make a next-gen game? You want to make a next-gen first-person shooter? That's the game you need to model after. They walked out onto the field and they are strutting. They're like, this is how you make a game. Gotham Knights might be a crap show, but it's the same effing game. You clearly haven't played it. You haven't played it. People that say that, like, the irony is you're saying the same thing people say every year. And the funny thing is, the Call of Duty campaigns were actually always very good. They were actually always quite good. I thought they were excellent. I mean, they were always good stories. They were always pretty intense. They had good twists and turns. People that say that, what's funny is you're drenched in irony. It's like, it's the same game. Yeah, you say the same thing every year. Then don't play it. I don't know. There's literally no way you've played this game if you think that. Seriously. If I could wave a magic wand and allow you to play the game right now, I guarantee you in 2 hours you'd be like, I was wrong. I was wrong. This is not just another Call of Duty. This is not just another Call of Duty campaign. There is something special about Modern Warfare 2. You can pass better in Madden this year, but it's still Madden. It's the same game, man. I feel bad for people like you, man. A game comes out that's clearly going to win awards, get nominations. It's going to shake the foundations of next gen and show people what you can do with these consoles. And you're in here, I don't even know what you're doing. Like, what are you doing? Why are you so upset? What's got you all twisted up inside, man? Like, it's an amazing game that people are praising. And you have to walk in the room like, it's the same game. Yeah. Let me guess, you call Gotham Knights. Well, no, you admitted that Gotham Knights is bad. But you probably say that, like, God of War Ragnarok's DLC. I bet you're one of those people, too. You can't compare Madden to COD. You cannot compare this game to Madden. You simply cannot. I'm halfway through Gotham Knights. Only thing's bad about it is the FPS and how repetitive some missions are. I played it for 20 minutes this morning. I cannot believe how terrible. It's everything I was worried about. We're playing it this afternoon. Guys, we have so many people here. We should easily have 200 likes. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. Talk in my chat. Let me know what y'all think about this game. My Modern Warfare 2 campaign first impressions are basically this game is so close to a 10 out of 10. The campaign is so close to a 10 out of 10, and I rarely say things like that. I don't hype games up. I don't overpraise games. I was harsh on Elden Ring when it came out because it was like everybody was giving it 9s and 10s out of 10s, and I was like, I don't think so. It had performance issues. I knocked that game down to a solid 8. I didn't even question whether or not I should be giving it a 9 or a 10. It's an 8 for me because 2 what? I played 3 missions. It's dope. My first impressions right now is this game is kissing 10 out of 10 for me, and I almost never say that. Right? I almost never say that. I don't want to get off topic, but the sports game is the same game every year is such a lame take. Sports don't change. Yeah, like, what are they supposed to do? Put a rocket on the football? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me. Y'all know me. I'm not prone to hyperbole about games. Like, you got to do a lot to impress me. You have to do a lot to impress me. I've not been this impressed with the first-person shooter campaign since Titanfall 2. Like, I haven't. I have not. You'll finish the story and you'll play the same thing over and over online. Same game. Can't wait for God of War 5. But that's a story-based game. You'll finish the story and then it's the same thing. What you're saying, you're not saying anything, though. That's true of every single game. What you're saying is not a criticism of any game in existence. Every game, once you finish it and replay it, it's the same game. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't believe you're rereading The Lord of the Rings. It's the same thing you read last time. Like, yeah, it's a great story. Are you making a point or are you just crying like a baby? Like, I don't understand what you're doing. Like, you're throwing an internet tantrum. Does anything remind you of the Clean House mission from MW 2019? I didn't play MW 2019, but I'm really glad we watched all those cutscenes. The cutscenes from Modern Warfare 2019 really, really set up the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. I was very, very glad. I trust your judgment. You're pretty unbiased. I am arguably... I get told that I'm nitpicky and that I find little things to criticize and complain about. And I'm telling you, man... I played this game for 3 hours. I played 6 missions. I cut my teeth on Call of Duty. I grew up on Call of Duty. I've been playing shooters since Wolfenstein 3D. This is the best shooter I have ever played. It is the best shooter I've ever played. Nothing comes close. Nothing comes close. Titanfall 2 is like handing off the mantle of best first-person shooter campaign to this game. They're like, here you go. Here you go, daddy. You take it. You're the best right now. Bro, the Clean House mission was the best mission in 2019. That's why I was saying there's some narrative elements you aren't seeing with just watching the cutscenes. I saw what you guys were saying in chat. Like, there wasn't anything I could do, man. Like, there was no way to recap that story any faster than we did. Not faster, but, like, there was no way we were going to be able to give you guys that full scope. And I didn't have time to play it, obviously. Timmy Tenders did. I mean, he played through the whole dadgum thing the day before. Tommy's obviously misinformed about this game if he thinks it's just campaign and multiplayer. Yeah, this game is not just campaign and multiplayer. So something we discovered yesterday is that Spec Ops has like 3 kits that you're going to level up to like level 5, and then you're going to take those kits into the raids. They are creating an actual more a more established, more ongoing PvE experience in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This is not just another Call of Duty. Just for craps and giggles, compare this in as little words as possible to the latest Battlefield. I mean, if you try to compare Modern Warfare 2 to the latest Battlefield, I don't know how you would do that. It's like comparing a brand new shiny Ferrari that is immaculate and perfectly designed to a skateboard in the ditch missing a wheel. Like, you can't even compare the two. You just can't. Did you play the third-person mode, and did you like it? I played the third-person mode in the Modern Warfare 2 beta. They apparently are changing it. To be different with the ADS. I guess I should play the game today then. I cannot imagine. You guys know I don't make strong recommendations haphazardly. I cannot imagine a single person watching this video and going and buying the game and coming back and being like, yeah, I don't know, bro. It's just kind of mediocre. Like, I can't see you doing that. I just can't. I wanted to just keep playing. I couldn't stop. And I just couldn't stop. It's like, this is amazing. This is practically flawless. I couldn't stop looking at the screen and looking at the camera and be like, are you guys seeing this? I have Battlefield, but I always loved Call of Duty. Two totally different games and gameplay. Well, Battlefield 2042 could have been a great game, but it was terrible. Look, the game was good for me to stay up until 3 a.m. to finish it, says Freebird. I'm telling you, something special is happening with this game. This is not just another Call of Duty. I don't buy that for a second. They have big plans for this game. Even if you don't like campaigns or Call of Duty, you could like this. I seriously think people that are like, I often skip Call of Duty, I bet you they would enjoy this. Just as a graphical tour de force, I think people should play this. How long is the campaign? It's somewhere between 7 and 10 hours, depending on how you play and what difficulty you're on. It's somewhere between there. So it's longer. Traditional Call of Duty campaigns are like 6 hours long. This one seems a little bit longer than that. The only legit complaint you could make is that it could be too realistic for some people. Otherwise, I don't know what people would criticize. Well, I mean, my only minor gripe is that the AI can get a little aimbot sometimes. I'm on regular, and there were a couple deaths where I was like, what was I supposed to do, right? Other than that, I mean, that's it. Serious question, what would it take to see COD win Game of the Year? I got news for you. It might. I'm serious. I'm not kidding around. I think this game is a contender. I think it's between Modern Warfare 2 and Ragnarok. I do. I'm not kidding around. I think Elden. I'm so sorry to say that. I'm so sorry to say this. I think Elden Ring is like, what happened? I'm not kidding you. Like, Elden Ring will be up on the podium. Elden Ring will win awards. But as far as Game of the Year, I'm not kidding you at all. This game's up there. This is a contender. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind at all. Ragnarok and Modern Warfare 2 are a better display of next-gen than Elden Ring. I think that's going to tip the scale, Sven. That's exactly where I'm thinking. I'm not kidding around. You guys know I loved Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring is a generation-defining game. The open world, it's immaculate. The combat, it is an amazing game. But I'm telling you right now, Modern Warfare 2 just walked in the room and said, stop the presses. We haven't got to sing our song yet. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those shows where you're watching and you're like, that person's clearly the front runner. There's no way anybody else could sing better than that. And then Modern Warfare 2 walks out and you're like, are you hearing this? Like, that's what it feels like. And I mean, Ragnarok, there was a blog today on Ragnarok that's just absolutely insane. That game is just gonna deliver greatness. Places don't pick Game of the Year based on those things. Based on what things? Based on next gen? I think next gen will be a factor. It was one of the reasons I thought Returnal deserved it, because I thought Returnal was one of the few ambitious next gen games that came out that year. Like, I do think next gen should be a factor. Maybe they don't choose based off that, but the press will respond to next gen more this year than last year. I am wearing a Batman shirt today. I'm playing Gotham Knights because look at his face. Look how disappointed he is. He's looking down on that game and he's like, pathetic. Thank you guys for tuning in. Another really strong day covering Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Make sure you are hitting the subscribe button so you can talk in chat. We want to hear from you. What'd you think of the game so far? Have you played it? Leave a comment. Smash the like button. Let's set our sights on 300 likes. Another strong day, guys. Thanks for being here. Am I hyped for Modern Warfare 3? Based on things that actually matter, I was being facetious. Oh, sorry, Orphan. I was like, what are you saying? New Transformers collectible robot now available. Can you send me one? Were you sending me an email to buy something? The frick? All 3 of them games are cross-gen. True, Paul, but you can't look at Modern Warfare 2 and say it's not a display of next-gen power. Being cross-gen doesn't take away from that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, Modern Warfare 2 being a cross-gen game doesn't take away from the undeniable display of next-gen power. Are you seeing the same gameplay I'm seeing? What in the world? Like, I don't know, man. Who votes for the winner? It's the press, isn't it? It's not the public. The public has a sway, right? We have a sway, but we don't fundamentally decide. The self-transforming Prime, it's $1,000. Yeah, you want to send me one? I'll show it off. I ain't dropping $1,000 on a toy. Use the Kappa for all that sarcasm. Yeah, we have a Lono Kappa emote. I'll work on my chat sarcasm. If you're not familiar with this emote, the Lono Kappa emote, if you put that at the end of a sentence, that's basically you saying, I'm being sarcastic right now. The public has 10% input on Game of the Year awards. If this is the quality we can expect every 2 years, sign me up. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Listen, if you're familiar with my coverage, if you guys have watched me any stretch of time, you know that it takes a lot for me to give high praise. Or my favorite character, who's my favorite character in the campaign? Price. Yeah, he's got some amazing moments. He has some amazing moments. The writing for him at one point, he's fantastic. He's absolutely fantastic. They've written him so well. He has some very poignant moments. I won't spoil them. Yeah, /S also works for sarcasm. I love the campaign more than anyone, but don't deny we're in the honeymoon phase right now. Can't forget how generational Elden Ring was for gaming. Rogue, I am telling you, there are 2 things that are really going to hurt Elden Ring. Recency bias and the lack of next-gen showing. I'm dead serious. I think that's going to hurt Elden Ring in the running. I do. That's not me. Like, I loved Elden Ring, brother. That's probably one of the games I've played more than any other game. Like, if you looked at my logged hours in Elden Ring. But I'm here to tell you that recency bias and a lack of next-gen showing is really going to hurt Elden Ring at the end of the day. Because you have to think, the press and the ethos around gaming is starting to go up. It's like, oh my gosh, are you seeing these games? And then what are people going to do? They're going to turn around and look at Elden Ring and be like, this is an amazing game. This is a great game. It was one of my favorite games of all time. But it feels a little dated now. It feels a little bit behind. I'm not saying that that's true, by the way. I'm not saying that Elden Ring is dated and left behind. I'm saying the perception of the people reviewing games and voting on Game of the Year, that perception shift, it's happening. It's happening. It doesn't mean it's true, but ultimately that's what Game of the Year is it not? It's the perception of the public and the press of like, how do these games shake out? Could we get a few more likes on the vid, guys? 24 more for 300. Strong start to the day. Thank you for being here. I want to hear from you. Hit subscribe so you can talk in my chat. I'm a Safe for Work broadcaster. I do a talk show like this Monday through Friday. We had a huge day yesterday with Modern Warfare 2, and we greatly appreciate everybody jumping into the discussion, jumping in to the streams. I missed gameplay yesterday, but kind of wish I didn't now. Oh, It's going to be really hard to play Gotham today because I just want to play more Modern Warfare, but I don't want to hear from people like, you didn't play Gotham. Yeah, well, I spent $70 on it on my PlayStation, and I'm going to play it about as long as I can tolerate. I want to actually put some time in so I don't have to hear from people about how you didn't play it enough. Shut up. But we'll be finishing Modern Warfare 2 campaign next week. The awards are also desensitized to how good COD is also. They treat it like a sports or racing game. Not this year. No, Paul. No way. Nope. I don't think so. I don't think a single review outlet, I don't think a single gaming outlet is going to look at this game and say, yeah, it's just another Call of Duty. I think what I'm saying will be the narrative about this game. I'm dead serious. It'll be this is a generation defining game. This is it. We're here. The next gen shooter is here. Like, I'm dead serious. I can't see the gaming press not absolutely slobbering all over this game. There's just no way. Number one, it's Call of Duty. Number two, this is not just another shooter. It's way more than that. Public perception on COD's about to change. Y'all know I like to make predictions. Y'all know I like to make predictions. I'm here to tell you, this game is a Game of Year contender, and people are going to talk about this game very differently than previous Call of Duties. It's in a new league of its own. It is. It's in a new league. It has the greatness of the voice acting and the storytelling of a game like Uncharted 4, and it has the crispness and the graphics and the gameplay of a category of games you haven't played yet. I'm dead serious. You haven't played a game at this level. You haven't. Nope. Now, you've played next-gen games like Returnal and Ratchet and Clank, and you've played Horizon Forbidden West. You've not played a shooter at this caliber ever in your life. You don't, because it doesn't exist. It doesn't. I walked away from Call of Duty for a while. I was like, no, this game's just not hitting anymore. They're just not doing it right. They're just phoning it in. I can't do this anymore, right? And then they left behind. Didn't they leave behind campaigns for at least one or two? They're just like, yeah, we're not doing a campaign. Campaign by itself is a 9.7 out of 10. Yeah, like I said earlier, Brandon, I said, listen, I don't hand out high scores very often, and this thing is kissing a 10. This campaign is kissing a 10. It's close to, in my mind, it's close to perfection. It's extremely close to it. Black Ops 4 is the one that skipped it. Rissick with a $10 tip. Do you think this is a setup to an online MMO from COD? I continue to say that they seem to have bigger plans for Call of Duty PvE. Like I can't look at the Modern Warfare 2 setup. You got the Rage, you got the Spec Ops, you got the campaign. It's all tied together. I don't know, man. And then look at how many weapons are in the game. Something's going on. Something's in the water. They're doing something. My spidey sense is tingling about this game. It's like, y'all are doing something, and I can't see the full picture just yet. It sounds corny. It's not a game. It's an experience. Yeah, if you got a really good setup, good headphones, good stereo, good television, good monitor, I agree with what Eugene is saying. It's an experience. It's especially, listen, for those of us that grew up playing Call of Duty, this is what it felt like that first time I played COD and thought, I've never played a game like this. Do you know what I'm saying? It feels like you're stepping into something bigger than just a sequel. You're stepping into a new type of game. One of the big drawbacks to games like Call of Duty is, how do you innovate on a shooter, right? You're shooting guns and you're moving from cover to cover. Like, how do you innovate on that? It's really, really challenging. Well, the thing they're doing with this game is, experientially, they can give you more of an immersive experience with the graphics, with the sound, with the setups of the fights, with the AI. Stop hating on Gotham Knights. It's so heat. Yeah, it's so heat that PC Gamer gave it a 49 out of 100 and IGN gave it a 5 out of 10. Do you describe heat as lukewarm? Man, that food's really, really hot. And it's been sitting out in the sun for a day. Yo, Super Gaming with a $10 tip through Super Chat. Veteran is usually 2 shots at most and you're dead. Realism will be a joke. I'm being killed while peeking from people I can't see, but the game is amazing. Almost skipped work to complete it. I said that this morning, Super Gaming. I said, listen, the AI and the difficulty is my one concern. I think if you turn it up to Veteran, it's probably just awful. And that makes me concerned about Spec Ops and the raids, because if that's how they dial in the difficulty, that's going to be irritating. Like, that doesn't feel like true difficulty. Like, you peek and it's like, is there a guy there? Did it? Oh, I'm dead. I don't even know. I don't even know who shot me. How bad was Arkham Knight at the beginning? Just wait. Arkham Knight was immaculate at the beginning. What are you talking about? I loved Arkham Knight at the beginning. I had no complaints. I 200%ed it. The only reason Arkham Knight got bad reviews from people like Angry Joe, and he admitted to this, it was because the PC port was bad. They hired like a 7-person team to port the game to PC. That game was fine, and I defended the crap out of it at the time. It was a beautiful game. Stop the hate, man. I love that defense. Like, people like you, I just don't understand where you're coming from. Well, this game was really bad, so stop hating this game for coming out and being bad. It'll get better. What? Why should I be kind to a $70 next-gen only game that's a steaming pile of garbage? Why should I be kind to it? Why? Why does it deserve that? It's not like a little kid on the playground that I gotta be gentle with. It's a freaking video game. $5 tip from Smashville. I'm going to start this early. I have stuff to do this afternoon. Thank you, Smashville. You're saying give it time? Why? Why should I give it time? I bought Gotham Knights, and I love it, but it plays like crap. Batman fanboy, so I enjoy it. I love Batman too, but I played it for 20 minutes this morning. I couldn't believe how awful it was. I was like, this is everything I thought it was going to be. I feel like I'm playing a mobile game. A $5 tip from Super Gaming. I checked the mission list. I'm 3 away from completion on Veteran. Super Gaming, would you recommend people playing it on Veteran? You're changing? Preacher, if we kick it to Monday, we have a strong lead for Monday. So much is coming out. It feels so dumb. The only thing I could see us doing maybe is just reacting to it and kick it on over the weekend. You know, run the Gotham Knights reaction today. I think we can break our rule. That IGN video, we're not going to hurt it. Yo, Smashville with 5 gifted members. Thunderhawk got one. Dante, Eternal Darkness, and Yost, and Mgene. Guys, all of those names are people that are here a lot. I recognize all those names. If you're here often, you'll get gifted members. If you guys want to pay it forward, if you just got a gifted membership, you can pay it forward and now gift members to other people. Click that $sign at the bottom of the chat. Become a member or give some members. I don't know what the call is. Ragnarok's dropping so much news today. There's so many hands-on previews. I don't have a show prepped for it, though. If we kick it to Monday, we'll be late, but at least the show will be good. Why is the expectation that games will get better via updates? Why can't games come out and just get better? Listen, Modern Warfare 2 threw down the gauntlet, okay? Do you want to walk out and charge $70? You want to walk out and say your game's next gen? Then you better start hitting some homers, because if not, everyone's going to look at it and be like, what are you talking about? I was on YouTube mobile all the time, but I can never see the opt-in for free memberships. You might have to switch to a browser, and then you have to opt in there. You just go to the chat, and it says allow gifts, and then you're good. After playing Call of Duty, do you still think we've hit a graphical ceiling with this current gen of games? This is it. I think this is the ceiling, Minch Tree, yes. Yep. I stand by my predictions that Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, and now I include Modern Warfare 2, this is the ceiling of graphical performance of these consoles. I don't think in a couple of years you're going to see games that blow these games out of the water. I think this is it. This is the bar. I don't think you're going to see games go past this. No way. I just don't see it. I think they're squeezing every drop of performance out of these consoles. We're not going to turn around in like 2025 and be like, oh my gosh, these games blow those games out of the water. No, I don't think so. $5 tip from Ghost. I love how they put the select fire for guns. I agree. They're ruthless. So cute. My kids got haircuts today. You guys look great. Oh, buddy, your hair. It's so good, man. Feel better? I like yours, girl. Short, braids. You look like a Jedi. You look like a warrior, like some kind of warrior queen or something. After her mama, warrior queen. Well, you didn't get your hair cut, babe. If you want a compliment, then go get it. I'm kidding. Babe, you look hot. All right. Everybody clear out of my office. Don't do that. Okay. I'm not sitting in dog's poo. This is a chair. This is a really nice chair, I'll have you know, young man. That is inappropriate. But it was pretty funny. I thought it was funny. She said... I said it was a really expensive chair. My daughter was like, yeah, and I pooped in it. Come on, that's pretty good. Everyone's a critic, chat. Everyone's a critic. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Did you guys hear her? Did you guys hear what my wife said? I said everyone's a critic. She's like, isn't that what you're doing right now? Okay. That was actually pretty good. That's pretty funny, babe. Yo, a $10 tip from Super Gaming. I would say if you're familiar with Call of Duty, play on Veteran for a challenge. It takes longer to complete. If not, then no, it will frustrate you. Okay. All right, well, there you go. I would recommend just playing it on regular. I found it to be adequate, challenging. I died a handful of times. It felt good. It felt like I was under threat. It felt like I had to pay attention. You know, I had to move from cover to cover. I couldn't play sloppily. So I would recommend people play the Modern Warfare 2 campaign early access because the game comes out next week. If you're jumping into early access, I would highly recommend you play the game. You would play the game on normal, right? Hardened was fun, says Spriggle. It was rough, but I enjoyed it, says Christopher. Oh, you played it on Hardened. Okay, a couple people in chat are saying they played it on Hardened. I agree with all those points on Hardened. Really? Okay, well, from what I'm gathering then in chat, if you're wanting to play the Modern Warfare 2 campaign and you want a challenge, maybe don't go all the way up to Veteran, just do Hardened. That sounds like that's what I'm gathering from chat. Just wait till they realize they can go back to the Shire, silly hobbit. Just completed the campaign. I already want Modern Warfare 3. Is the campaign worth the full game price? Because I will not play the multiplayer. Jay Stubbles, yes. My thumbnail says it all. Don't skip this. I don't even think you need to buy this as a fan of Call of Duty. I think you need to buy this as a fan of video games. I mean that. If you're a fan of video games, if you've ever played a shooter in your life, you have to play this. This is the greatest shooter I've ever played. I think it's Game of the Year contender. I do. I think it's going to walk into the game. I think it's going to walk into the Game Awards and it's going to shake things up. And I don't give praise to games haphazardly. I don't do that. I played for 3 hours. I played 6 missions, and this game is the closest to 10. I think the closest to a 10 I would ever give anything. This is the strongest score I would ever give a game up to now. Like God of War Ragnarok might be up there too once I finally get to play it, but I didn't think anything would top Apex, Titanfall 2, or Destiny, but for me, Modern Warfare 2 feels the best. The greatest, I'm telling you, it's the greatest shooter I've ever touched. I'm not kidding. Yo, James Carr with a $10 tip through Super Chat. Thank you. Stop it with Game of the Year. You think I'm overselling it, but I am not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Tune into the Game Awards in December, and you're going to be like, Dadgummit, Lono was right. This game is going to get a ton of nominations, and it will be a contender for Game of the Year. I bet it gets beat by God of War, but I'm telling you, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Game of the Year, it will be up on the podium. There's no doubt in my mind. If this doesn't get nominated for Game of the Year, I will be shocked. I will be absolutely shocked. This is not just some new Call of Duty campaign. They did way more than that. What makes this close to a 10 out of 10 for you? So let me comb through my first impressions. Let me give you guys a too long didn't read. Graphics and the gameplay, this is undeniably the best shooter I have ever played. The lighting, the night vision, the environments. This is truly a next-gen game. Even wet stones and bricks in the one town looked real. Performance, rock solid, no issues. 120 hertz mode on my TV was breathtaking. Gameplay, probably the most fun Call of Duty campaign I've ever played. They change it up in so many ways. The dynamic experience, it doesn't feel like some cheap, oh, I'm in a car mission now. Each mission has this unique identity, like a mini episodic experience of excellence. The harder difficulties are my only concern because the AI can get a little aimbotty. The gun handling feels incredible. Best feeling shooter I think I've ever touched. Story, well-paced, immediately interesting. It feels like a TV show or a movie. Catching up on the 2019 cutscenes was a perfect lead-up. The characters, the writing, the setup, it does not feel cliche or predictable. The voice acting is some of the best I've heard in the industry. I put it up there with games like Uncharted 4. It literally feels like you're watching a big budget production. The cinematics, my wife was like, it looks real. She's like, maybe they could help out with She-Hulk since she looks so bad. The sound design is the one thing that I think tons of people are going to miss out on. This is some of the best sound. I think this is probably the best sound design of a shooter I've ever felt. If you're playing this on a TV without headphones or surround, at least turn your television up. It sounds incredible. I don't have anything to say other than praise. I'm serious. I have nothing but it's like I was smiling ear to ear. I couldn't believe how good it was. I could not believe it. The night vision, the lighting, the fire, the setups, the sound. It's I'm telling you, this is the greatest shooter I've ever touched. The greatest shooter I've ever touched. And I've played a lot of them. Super Gaming with a $5 tip. Off topic, God of War reviews are, it's better than 2018 in every way. Yeah, all the hands-on reviews are coming out. Oh, it's so surprising it's not a DLC. Okay, you got me. Pre-purchased. I said it this morning, Jay Stubbles. If anybody gets this game and plays the campaign on my recommendation and is like, I didn't think it was that good, I'll be so surprised. I can't imagine. Like, this is something that gamers should experience. Even if you're not a COD head, you should experience this campaign. What's the best shooter? Up to now, I thought the Titanfall 2 campaign was one of the best I've ever played. I thought Battlefield 5's campaign was excellent. It was very episodically driven, very character-driven. And Apex had amazing shooting, and probably Destiny 2 was one of the greatest feeling shooters you could play. Mixed feelings with a $5 tip. The atmosphere in this game was just amazing. You're not lying when you say Game of the Year. It felt like I got to play an old school yet modern movie. How long is it to beat? It's landing between 7 and 10 hours. So you're saying there's an extended PvE multiplayer experience with raids and whatnot? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There is Spec Ops. There's 3 missions in Spec Ops. They are recommending that you do all 3 of them at 3 stars and get your Spec Ops kits, at least one of the kits up to Tier 5, before the raids launch on December the 14th. And the raids are an extension of the campaign. So, I think they have big plans for this. I started it at 1:15. I finished around 9:15. 8:15. Oh, so it's about 7 hours for you, Brandon. I think it's somewhere between 7 and 10 hours, depending on how you play. Most Call of Duty campaigns are like 6. This one sounds a little bit longer. I beat it in 7 hours, but some people will take longer because it gets hard. Yeah. How do you like their guns? The guns feel and sound incredible. I'm always told that I'm picky, that I look at all the things that you shouldn't look at. And guess what? In this game, I did that, and I saw nothing that was off. I looked at cobblestones and water and reflections, and I listened to the sounds, and I looked at the night vision and the lighting. I did all the things that I do when I get he's being too picky and nitpicky. I did all those things. The only thing I'll say is, when you're in the grass and you're like really close to grass, it kind of reminds you of like, okay, old school games where it looks kind of jagged. That's the only thing I saw that didn't look, close to perfection. A $10 tip from Detective Seeds. When you play through the campaign, pay special close attention to the dates of the missions. They seem to coincide with the release of content that is coming with raids and such. Oh, really? Yeah, water. The water. When Price is literally sitting there in the water and his hat's damp and he brings his gloves up and he's in his hand and the binoculars are damp, I can't get over how good it looks. I'm like, what is this? How'd y'all do this? $2 tip for Mixed Feelings. Hit F5, then F6 at the menu for Modern Warfare 2 of Secret. Yeah, we're seeing that people are breaking into like the loadouts menu. One thing I really like is the dialogue options you get during some of the missions. That felt out of place, but it wasn't bad. It certainly wasn't bad. Have they revealed what a raid would look like? All we have are descriptions, Orphan. 3-man with puzzles and sort of like intense survival firefights. One of the puzzles is a number puzzle. One of the puzzles is a water maze. And all they've said is it's a continuation of the story, and they encourage you to grind Spec Ops and get one of the Spec Ops kits up to Tier 5. So, yeah, the dialogue options are weird. They kind of come out of nowhere, and the first time they show up, it's a little weird. Game of the Year. People think I'm reaching. People think I'm being crazy, but I think this game will get a Game of the Year nomination. I don't necessarily think it will win, but it's a contender. Yeah, Murder Flirting. I'm playing it right now, and I can confirm again, sound design is insane. The shots to the way the gun clicks when you reload are wild. Haptics on the PS5 are pretty good and add immersion. The sound design, I was playing on my Bose, and these are obviously really nice headphones, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I've never played a game that sounds this good. I have not up to now. I'm hearing that the game both looks and feels amazing. What's unique about it to get Game of the Year? They've literally pushed every element of the game forward. The tarp threw me. Yeah, remember when the tarp blew in the wind and I turned and looked. I was like, it sounded like footsteps. It was, I couldn't believe it. There was like this tarp on this thing, and the wind was blowing through it. You know how that like flapping wind sound on flags and tarps? I couldn't believe it. I was like, did you guys hear that? I was like, that spooked me. Sound design. I was in disbelief at how good it sounded. Not Game of the Year for one thing or a gimmick. It's the total package being so good from head to toe that gives it to this consideration. They push every level of the game forward. The graphics, the gameplay, the story, the voice acting, the sound design, the environments, even the structure of the missions. Bro, when I was running that one mission, no spoilers, there's a mission where you're running away sort of like down a hilly area, and then you're periodically having to like get in cover, and then you end up in some water. Dude, that didn't feel like just another Call of Duty mission. It felt amazing. And the water has current. I'm like in the water, like trying to protect myself, and the current of the river is moving me. I'm telling you, this is not just some other Call of Duty. It isn't. It isn't. Mixed feelings with a $5 tip. By the way, there's a mission in the game where it literally teaches you how the new DMZ mode will work to a certain extent. Can't wait for you to see that. Ooh. That sounds dope. And we've only gotten the campaign. Imagine how awesome the rest of the game will be. Yeah, we've not touched Spec Ops. We've not seen raids. Guys, we are just now in the first hour of the show. Do me a favor. I only need 50 more likes to hit 400. That will be an amazing number for the first hour of the show. So many people here, over 500 people here. If you've been enjoying my coverage and breakdowns, it's a safe for work talk show. We do multiple shows Monday through Friday. Hit subscribe. Let us know in chat what you think. As long as you're a subscriber, you can talk in chat. If you're not logged in, make sure you're logged in on YouTube. Don't just watch passively. Get involved, become a member. It's only $5 a month to become a member. I do members-only talk shows every day. We have a members-only Discord. My wife and I will be playing another spooky game tonight because it's October. Every Friday night I play some games with my wife for members, and you only need $5 to get into all of that for a whole month. As someone who has skipped most recent CODs, what makes this one different from the last one? This is me talking, okay? This is Lono, the guy who's played shooters since Wolf 3D, the guy who centers a lot of his gameplay around shooters. This is the greatest shooter I've ever played. This is the best Call of Duty I've ever played. I've never played a game like this, bro. That's not... I'm not some review outlet puffing the game up because I got paid money. I was truly in disbelief yesterday. And then when I booted it up on my TV that you guys got me, and I turned on the 120 hertz mode, even my wife was like, she asked, she was like, "Are you playing?" She thought it was like footage, like recorded real life footage. She's like, "Are you playing?" I was like, "Yes, I'm playing." I was like, that's me playing. It's like, it looks real. Modern Warfare 2019 is a close second. Well, I didn't play it, so I can't speak to it. So it's good. I'm about to fire it up. If anybody comes back from playing this and tells me they're disappointed, I'll have a hard time believing them. I'll be like, I don't believe you, bro. I'll have a very hard time believing that. I think even people who are not fans of Call of Duty are going to play this and say, there's something. This is a special game. There's something special here. This is more than just some new Call of Duty game. You've talked a lot about graphics, sound design, gameplay, etc. Does the story hold up to standards as well? This is my thoughts on story. My thoughts on story. It's well-paced and immediately interesting. It feels like a TV show, movie, or series. Catching up on the 2019 cinematics was a perfect lead-up. The characters, the writing, and the setup is excellent. It does not feel cliche. It does not feel predictable. It doesn't. I'm literally watching the scenes, and I'm like interested in what's going on. And there were a couple of moments where certain characters said things, and I was like, yes! I was like, let's go. Like, it reminded me of moments from 24 when you would get so hyped about something that happened. You know what I mean? When you remember the moment in 24 when Tony came back? Like, somebody gets shot and falls down, and Tony's standing there helping Jack, and you're like, whoa! Like, it was such a hype moment. There are moments like that in the writing where I'm like, oh, let's go. Like, it's so well done. You're in. You're invested in the characters almost immediately. At least that's the way I felt. There's also really good humor. Periodically, there's little moments that I felt like were actually funny. There's a moment where the guy asks if, what he should call him. Should he call him Ghost? And the other guy gets a little line in, and I thought it was very funny. The average consumer, COD campaign's 10 hours for 100 in some. Ragnarok's 40 hours. It's only 40 gig. Well, you're saying people are going to be upset about that? Which one the customer going to delete first? Think about it. Everybody don't know about SSD. I'm not sure why you're typing in all caps about install file sizes. Thanks. I've not gotten to that episode yet. Spoiler alert much? Sorry, yeah, Tony comes back. Is the graphical fidelity leaps and bounds better than Call of Duty Vanguard? I would say so. I played Vanguard and didn't think anything looked that amazing. Like, it didn't look bad, but bro, I'm here to tell you. I'm telling you, I've never played a game that looks and feels and sounds this good. I haven't. Yesterday, one of the reasons I'm so excited is yesterday was a new experience for me. It's so hard to have that in games these days because it's like, well, yeah, I've done this before. I played a game like this before. I played a mission like this before. I didn't feel that yesterday. Even last night when I was breaching a building I'd already breached, I was there. I was in it. It was awesome. I didn't feel, oh yeah, I've done this. I was immersed. The sound in the building and the creaking of the doors and footsteps and stuff, and it's dark. It's kind of hard to see. The running was very slow. I noticed that last night when I was playing, when we were running to the one building, and yesterday I was running behind Price and he wasn't running, and I wasn't really catching up to him. The running is awkwardly slow at times. I don't know why that is. I don't know if they want it to feel cinematic, like they don't want you like suddenly bolting across an open field super fast. I will say the running feels slow, and I don't know what the purpose of that is. It didn't seem like running was much faster than walking, you know? It's more of a narrative thing. Yeah. Never mind, y'all don't get it. It's not that we don't get it. You're not a good communicator. You were spamming in broken English sentences in all caps. It's not that we don't get it. You weren't making any sense, bro. The standard trail with a 2-month milestone is a membership. I found you through Hogwarts Legacy coverage and I was gifted a membership. I think I'll stick around. I'm hoping for a sentient pineapple emote. You remember that moment? It's like, I don't care if you're the first sentient pineapple. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know where I pulled that line from, but that's funny that you remember it. Maybe realistic, carrying a bunch of gear and guns. Yeah. It's definitely, it doesn't, like, I like that. I don't think that we should be running around super fast. Like the one mission, I picked up an LMG, right? And it's like, yeah, it'd be a heavy piece of equipment. Are you playing more campaign today? I really want to, but we have to play Gotham Knights. I know nobody wants to, but I can't dunk on that game for weeks, and then when it's finally out and all the reviews back me up, I can't not play it. People would be like, bro, you didn't even play it. Shut up. I'm like, no, I played it for a couple hours. It's garbage fire, bro. Like, I literally need to do that. I need to. For my coverage, for my brand, for what we do here, I have to play Gotham Knights. I have to. I know it's a giant downer, but it'll let you guys all get way far ahead of me. So when we pick up the game on Monday, we'll pick up Modern Warfare 2 campaign on Monday. There'll be no fear of spoilers, right? You guys can get all the way done, maybe play it multiple times over the weekend, you know? You didn't even play it. Good. It's understandable that you have to play Gotham. Got to keep up the integrity. Yeah, I criticized that game for weeks, and people, that's all I would hear from people. Anytime I talked about it, anytime I tried to post a short about it, people were like, didn't play it. A $10 tip from Strictly Gaming. I'm about 3 missions in, and I can tell you this is one of the most immersive games I've ever played. The sound is amazing. When you clear houses, it feels like you're really doing it. Amazing so far. Yeah, it felt like a military sim. Like, it just got very close to that. It's obviously very arcade-ish. It's a Call of Duty. But clearing some of those buildings, it looked so real and sounded so amazing. It felt like some kind of a military sim. Like a GoPro military sim. I was like, what is this? First impression so far, I like the COD campaign. Definitely looks good. Play Gotham Knights for 5,000 members. It's definitely mid, but not a dumpster fire. I don't know about that. I'm actually hyped for Lona to play Gotham Knights and crap all over it. I'm here for that. I would get that game, it was free. Oh, I wouldn't get that game, it was free? I recorded a first look this morning, and I said at the end of it, I said, I wouldn't even recommend buying this if it's on sale. That's how bad it is. It's awful. I'm saying COD is like 100 gig for 10 hours of gameplay. That sucks. Rag's 40 gig for 40 hours. No, Ragnarok's not 40 gig for 40 hours. Call of Duty Ragnarok has already been rumored to be at least 95 gig or more. You've got bad intel. So, no. You're just saying things that aren't true. And when God of War comes out, they're going to delete Modern Warfare 2? Maybe, maybe not. There's other ways. There's other games to delete on my hard drives. Call of Duty Ragnarok? Well, no, sorry, I was reading his sentence really, really fast. Call of Duty's like 100 gig, Ragnarok's 40 gig. No, that's false. Ragnarok was leaked to be around 90 gig. That's twice the size of the first game. First game was 45 gig. Well, we don't even know if that's the actual install size. There's other reports showing it being like over 100, like 118 or whatever. Ragnarok's 92 on PS5, 118 on the PS4. Oh, sorry, I flipped it. Simple Google search will help you. Yeah, Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility, right? Use Google. Were you able to turn on 120 hertz mode? I turned it on for my television last night, and my jaw fell on the floor. I couldn't believe how stable it was. I felt like I was playing a next-gen game on a monster PC rig. I was like, what the frick is this? Just butter smooth. Realistic textures, breathtaking lighting, 120 hertz. Just, what? All these people that were like, these consoles just aren't strong enough to do 60 FPS. No. Gotham Knights is bad. That's why it can't hit 60 FPS. It ain't the consoles. Have you played a next-gen game? You haven't, apparently. Don't have that mode for Series S? Well, that's understandable. The Series S is going to have a lot of that stuff stripped down. I was watching my hubby play last night, and it was gorgeous. Hey, good to see you, Tiffany. I've referenced you a couple of times when people ask about the coffee. I'm like, I convinced somebody named Tiffany to get it, and she said it had the smoothness of hot cocoa when she put some Italian sweet cream in the coffee. And so I've referenced your endorsement. If you guys haven't hit subscribe yet, consider hitting subscribe. That way you can talk in my chat. We'd love to hear from you. If you've been here before, make sure you're smashing the like button. Also, make sure you're not on Top Chat. Live chat, you can see what everybody's saying. Top Chat's kind of like a weird filtered version of chat. Modern Warfare 2 lets you download sections of the 100 gig file size. You don't need to download the whole thing if you don't want. Yeah, that's also true. COD graphics and textures are honestly the best this year. I doubt even Ragnarok will reach this level. No, I think Ragnarok's going to have similar graphical fidelity with respect to textures and lighting. I'm not concerned about that. Did you see the performance options in Ragnarok? It's like 4. It's like 4 choices. These consoles aren't strong enough, man. I've seen a few posts saying that deleting the save file and rebooting your console might fix it. What's going on? I'm not that far. Deleting the save file? What's going on with the save file? Yeah, there are 4 modes for Ragnarok. Favor resolution, favor performance, favor resolution with the high frame rate on, so you can do a 4K 30, or favor performance with the high frame rate on, which targets, what, 120 FPS? These consoles are weak, bro. Trust me, bro? No, I don't think I'll trust you. I'll trust the people who have actually had hands-on with the game and are speaking to the install size. PS5, PS4, 90. When God of War download, just the PS5 version, it'll be 40 or 50. Okay. Just, it's okay to be done, bro. It's okay to be done. You can stop. In awe the whole time. You'll delete COD for RAG. Everybody don't have SSD. Okay. You don't make any sense, man. Like, so you came here to tell us that when Ragnarok comes out, people are going to delete Call of Duty to make space. Okay. What when my babysitter comes over and my wife and I go out on a date, we move our car out of the way in the driveway. Is that breaking news? You know what I'm saying? Are they going to be outside my house in a couple of days and be like, breaking news here, Channel 6. This man has moved his car out of the driveway to make room for the babysitter's car so that when they leave to go on their date, they don't have to get out of the way. We'll have more details at 11. This situation is developing. Like, what the frick are you even talking about, bro? Guys! People are going to delete COD when Ragnarok comes out to make space. Oh, okay. All right. Who cares? I don't understand what's the point. Somebody said about God of War Ragnarok, the DualSense playing this game was better than sex. Jiminy Christmas. $5 tip from Gray God. I received the coffee yesterday, and I love the picture that it came with. Hung it up on the fridge where it shall remain. Truly impeccable work of art. Thank you, Gray God. My kids love doing that. COD's 90 gig and God of War is which ones gets deleted first. Who cares? I don't understand what you're doing. No one cares about that. PS5 has about 750 gig of usable space. No one has to delete COD for Ragnarok. Plenty of other games to delete. It's a weird take. Yeah, who gives a frick? Do you know, like, I'll tell you what I'll do. Spider-Man. When God of War Ragnarok comes out, I won't delete Modern Warfare 2. I'll show you how to do it. I'll put together a guide. You know what I mean? All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. For those of you really curious about how to make space for God of War Ragnarok, and for some reason you think you have to delete Call of Duty, I'm going to show you how you don't have to do that. Make sure and hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss these amazing tips on how to manage your hard drive. I have more videos about how to turn on your controller as well as how to replace a light bulb. What the frick, bro? I'll make a guide just for you. I'll help you out. No, here's the point. I've heard many people do this. A lot of people play Call of Duty casually, and those who play it casually will not re-download it. Okay. That's not a big deal. Is it? Like, that's what I mean. Like, what's the impetus of making that point? What's the purpose? You bought the game, you had an amazing experience, you tell all your friends how awesome it was, maybe you leave a review, and then maybe you never go back to it. 5 for the laughs, that was great. Thank you, Jesse, for the $5 tip through Super Chat. Please put that on the clock app. Thank you, Sven. One problem is, nobody will understand the joke, Sven. Nobody will get it. Yo, Kieran Merrigan renewing their membership. Thank you for jumping back in. COD is 10 hours versus God of War 40 hours. Homie, they're different game types. The Modern Warfare 2 campaign, if it was 40 hours long, do you have any idea how many people would say, this is too long? This is too long. Like, you see what I'm saying? You can't compare different game types. Bro. I put 100 hours into Elden Ring, and when I played the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, it only took me 10 hours. What the frick, bro? They will delete COD. You haven't answered the question about why that matters. I delete games all the time after I'm done with them to make room for new games. Do you see what I'm saying? I also throw the trash out and put a new bag in the bin. I said bin for all you Brits out there. We love you, even though, you know, you drink tea and stuff. But I said bin just for you. This pizza's 16 inches across and this burrito's only like 6 inches long. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? I played some amazing single player games and I delete them when I'm done with them because I don't need them taking up space. You said COD will game of the year, not for 10 hours of gameplay. That's not what determines game of the year. Yo, Starday's Trail renewing their membership. Thank you so much for jumping back into the Reforge Gaming member pool. Let's get a little member train going, man. If you've never been a member before on a YouTube channel, this is a great place to try it out for the first time. Hit the join button or the $ at the bottom of the chat. Some people are getting discounts on their first members. Elden Ring is dog water. Your opinion is dog water. Super Gaming with a $5 tip. I have an 8 terabyte external and I just copy when I want to play something. $5 from Sorcerer, or you purchase a 4 terabyte external hard drive. Right. Thank you so much, Sorcerer. Thank you so much. I have to do it. I have to do it. I have to tweet that. LOL, who made this? Who made this? Who made this? Like, there's no way that a game of the year is going to be determined by game length. Like, they're not going to do that. I don't know why that matters. When you lose casual players, you get sweatier lobbies, so more casual people leave, creating sweatier lobbies, and now you're in a downward spiral. Brutal, I get that, but that has no bearing on the campaign, that has no bearing on the quality of the game, and that has no bearing on Game of the Year. Hades won Game of the Year, and it was a small indie title. That has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Wait, Hades actually won Game of the Year, or did it win Indie Game of the Year? Did Hades actually win the whole kit and caboodle Game of the Year? I thought it just won Indie Game of the Year. COD campaign used to be hours long. No. You're just randomly saying SSD. Are you feeling okay? COD campaign used to be hours SSD long. COD can't campaign been feel off. Sorry, bro. Are you feeling okay? Are you having mini strokes in the middle of typing your sentences? Bro, no. Traditionally speaking, Call of Duty campaigns have always been somewhere between 6 and 10 hours. What's the longest Call of Duty campaign in existence? How long is it? It ain't 40 hours. What are you even talking about? Historically speaking, oh, Hades won Game of the Year at BAFTA. There you go. Maybe we're ships passing in the night here. Of course, I agree with that. I was thinking good of the game, thinking multiplayer length because it needs to last 2 years. I think it'll be fine, Brutal. They've got things to bring people back. I'm assuming English is not their first language. No, they're not having a stroke. Black Ops. The original Black Ops? Black Ops campaign length. Main story of Black Ops, according to an IGN wiki guide, 7 hours and 15 minutes. If you do everything, it's 18 hours. Like, that's everything. Completionist. All play styles averages out to 9 hours. Somewhere between 7 and 10 hours. Jiminy Christmas. It's almost like you're making things up. How long is Call of Duty? HowLongToBeat.com. Powered by IGN Wiki Guides. It's somewhere between 7 and 10 hours. You're just making stuff up, bro. The Modern Warfare 2 campaign landing between 7 and 10 hours is par for the franchise course. That's how long these games typically are. Pretty sure he's just pounding his face on the keyboard at this point. I'm pretty sure people just post here to troll you to see how quick you can come up with a comeback. Entertaining. Captain Steve, I do wonder sometimes if that's what's going on. I'm like, maybe they're just trying to get a clip, but I use those clips for shorts, so I don't mind. That's quite the mental image. He's on his phone. He's like smashing his face on it. No COD campaign has been longer than 8 or 9 hours. That's what I mean. I don't. There's no indictment of the game's quality here. There's no indictment. You can beat Elden Ring in 6 minutes, so there's no way it wins Game of the Year. People play COD for multiplayer. The campaign's a cherry on top. I got news for you. This campaign's gonna shake the foundations. People are gonna play this game for the campaign. It Takes Two is around 10 hours. Yeah, It Takes Two won Game of the Year, and it's around a 10-hour game. Set, bump, and match. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. Nerd Mother with 14 months says, still here. Welcome back, Nerd Mother. And Blood King jumping back in with another month of membership. Thank you so much. So many people becoming members and renewing members. Thank you so much. We've only gotten 8 new members today. Let's shoot for 10 and then see how far we can go beyond that. Like, Literally, It Takes Two won game of the year, and it's like a 10-hour game. Game length is not a measure of how good a game is and whether or not it wins game of the year. I've been telling you guys for about 2 weeks, it's a new era of Call of Duty. It's time to start changing the way you think and look at the game. What time are you going to start playing Gotham? I don't know, whenever we're done with this show. I'm kind of avoiding it. If this Call of Duty creates the next looter shooter style game where you're leveling a class to do raids, it'll blow the COD as a PvP game idea out of the water. That's exactly right. Next Modern Warfare will be long, according to me. I like that. That's good. That's so honest. Guys, the next Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it's going to be really long, according to me. Don't play that game. The devs don't deserve it. I have to. I can't dog on the game and predict its downfall for weeks and then not play it. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. Many people play COD for the campaign. Remember when they didn't have a campaign? There was outrage. Yeah, they only did that one time. It's not going to beat Ragnarok. When God of War drops, nobody will be talking about Modern Warfare 2. You want to bet? Well, so you're predicting that the gaming press will cycle to the next hot thing? Okay. You're not proving anything. This must be your first rodeo if you think that's some kind of like an amazing prediction. Oh, guys, I bet when Ragnarok drops, I bet you everybody stops talking about Call of Duty and starts talking about God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, and when it rains outside, the ground gets wet. Are you going to make any other amazing, predictions about the future? What? Yeah, yep. And then when Callisto Protocol comes out, do you want to know what's going to happen? I'm going to blow your mind. Hold on. Buckle up. You seem to really like God of War and PlayStation. So do I, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to scare you, but when Callisto Protocol comes out, people are going to talk about that game instead of God of War. That's what happens in gaming media. They're going to move to the next hot thing. Like, Modern Warfare 2 is going to cannibalize the gaming press for like 2 to 3 weeks, right? It's going to cannibalize the gaming press for 2 to 3 weeks. And then when Ragnarok comes out, it'll do the same thing for 1 to 2 weeks, maybe more. And then when Callisto Protocol comes out, it's going to take over the gaming press for a week or two. Like, is it your first time paying attention to like games and gaming press? Like, that's normal. That's not some insane prediction. I don't know, bro. That's a hot take, but not game of the year, though. We don't have to wait very long to see who's right. All I said was that Modern Warfare 2 is a game of the year contender. I didn't say it was going to win. I said it has a chance. I think this game is going to surprise people. It's going to be up on the podium for Game of the Year. There's no doubt in my mind. What the frick else has come out this year that's going to compete with it? What? Gotham? Like, what are you going to put up there? Horizon Forbidden West will be up there. Elden Ring will be up there. Modern Warfare 2 will be up there. And then Ragnarok. That's 4 titles. There'll be a 5th honorable mention for Stray, I bet. I bet Stray gets like an honorable mention. It'll be the 5th game up there. You know it's not going to win, but they're going to do it just because it captivated the gaming world for like a week. I think that's your 5 game of the year nominations. Scorn? No shot. A friendly bet? Let's see. I'm not claiming who's going to win Spider-Man. If you want to take bets, I think Ragnarok takes Game of the Year. If I'm a betting man, I'm putting money on Kratos. If I'm a betting man and he's getting in the ring, he wins. He wins in the 9th round. No question. I'm just saying Modern Warfare 2 is going to be up there. It's going to win awards. I don't think it's going to take Game of the Year. I think Ragnarok ultimately takes it. And that's after saying that, like, Elden Ring, it's Elden Ring's year to lose. Like, it's Elden Ring's year to lose. And I think it's going to lose to Ragnarok. I do. So, they're not an endorsement, but it's going to be Horizon. No way. No way. It's not there. It's half a step down from MW2 and Ragnarok. I just don't think so. Yeah, I read a Metacritic review that said Gotham Knights is a Game of the Year contender like Elden Ring. I think they literally took like a bag of gummies and just dumped it in their mouth and played that game, and they were like, "Bro, it's like I'm actually Nightwing." Yeah. I don't know who wrote that review. Elden Ring is still my Game of the Year. I mean, I think Elden Ring is going to be really tough to beat in certain categories. Let's not pretend that beating Elden Ring is not a feat. That is a feat in and of itself. It's a very, very good game. It's a big game. It shook the marketing, and it shook the gaming press. It was wow. Game's incredible. Don't Hurt Me Like That. No way is Ragnarok beating Elden Ring. Everything they drop, everything they release, all the stuff they're talking about with that game and what they're striving for with God of War Ragnarok, I have no doubts now at this point that it wins. There was a time where I told people, I said, I don't know, man. I think Ragnarok's going to make it really hard. I think Ragnarok's going to make a run. And then we saw some gameplay. And then we saw some blogs. And then they released a blog this morning. And I'm like, yeah, I think this thing wins. It just... Okay, so there's a guy that I like to watch on the app where it's like really short form content. They don't like us saying that platform name here. Short form content. And they do duets over there. And there's this guy that reacts to different people preparing things, different meals. He's a chef. He really knows his stuff. And you always know within 10 seconds if it's going to be a disaster or if it's going to be immaculate. And I'm seeing all of the ingredients and all the pieces coming together for Ragnarok, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is going to be immaculate. This is going to be a game that will absolutely sweep Game Awards. It's going to take over. I watch that dude. He's hilarious. Yeah, I love him. He's been banned a couple times for bullying. People are like super sensitive. Like, he insults food, and they're like, he's bullying. It's like, you made a burrito that looks like a turd. What's he supposed to do? Like, I dropped a bomb with that article. 100% they rushed this game to market and didn't have time to scale and optimize. I did not expect God of War Rag to be able to run 120 FPS. That's actually surprising. Can't wait. Yep. I feel bad for anybody that worked on that game because, like, they're just having to sit here and watch this happen. Like, Modern Warfare 2 campaign walks out onto the field and is like, okay, yeah, your game's nothing in comparison to this game. I'll try MW2, but the SSD, I'm scared. I never hooked it up. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one with a PS5 that don't have an SSD. Homie, your PS5 has tons of internal storage. What the frick are you saying? Who told you that you have to get an external Who told you that? Did some guy at the store try to convince you to buy an SSD and lie to you? Homie, your PS5 has storage space inside. It's an SSD drive inside of it. What are you talking about? Who told you need an SSD? Yo, Blood King with a $14 tip through Super Chat. Hey, I love your streams. Was wondering, should I get a PS5 for those sweet exclusive games or get them on PC? And why are games so large on console? 70 gig on Steam, 118 on PS5 for God of War? Well, we don't know what God of War is going to be on PC. Actually, PS5 has Kraken compression, and install sizes should be fairly reasonable on PS5 compared to PC. There might be extra stuff for the 3D audio and the haptic. I don't know, but I would tell you that a PS5 is the way to go. You can play an absolute backlog of masterpieces, and then you won't have to wait for Ragnarok to come to PC. You have to wait like 18 months probably. I'm assuming the argument is the same as my 10-year-old niece's. She feels she needs to have everything downloaded on her PS5. PS5 specs, storage custom, 825 gig, NVMe SSD. I have to keep deleting games. Heard the SSD can brick your console. Brother, I don't know how often, I don't know what's on your hard drive. I don't. But if you have games installed like Valhalla or Warzone or The Division, those are really big games. I mean, you might have to delete those. I don't understand. I don't know. You're kind of hijacking chat and you're concerned about your hard drive. Like, buy an SSD then, bro. Like, our chat's not about giving you assurances about your tech. Like, I don't know who I'm talking to or what I'm talking about at this point. Sweet PS5 exclusives on PC. Oxymoron right there. I like playing on my PS5. Playing on PC feels like a little work, but I work on PCs all day. I mean, I actually feel like the PlayStation ports have been very strong. Days Gone is rock solid. God of War 2018 is rock solid. And then I played Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection yesterday, and other than having audio issues while it was loading textures, there was a couple of times it was doing these weird audio things, but overall, I thought it looked fantastic. It ran very solid. You see SkillUp's theory that Gotham was live service and it pivoted off? Yep. Yeah. 30 and Still Gaming, I think, said similar things. I mentioned that in my first look. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know what the frick they did. You know? Uncharted 4, Game of the Year. It was really good. Brother, I have a 4 terabyte external hard drive for my PS5. I have absolutely no problems. Yeah. That's 30's theory. I don't think 30 and SkillUp are the only ones that think that. If you look at the game and the pieces and the parts, especially if you look at the customization, I think that these people are right. I think they planned for it to be a live service game, and then Avengers flopped, and they were like, we can't do that. Rip all those pieces and parts out. A lot of people are saying that, and I'm here to tell you, I played for 20 minutes this morning, and I saw a lot of clues that backs that up. A lot. Been lurking for a bit. I know it's off topic. Just watched a vid on early gameplay of God of War Ragnarok, 90 gig download. Yeah, that's not news. We covered the install size weeks ago. That got, well, it was a leak. I guess that's confirmation. So it is news, but we were aware of that a while ago. I'm not trying to be dismissive, but we were aware of that a while ago. 45 is the install for 2018. So we were like, hey, this is twice the size of the install. It's going to be a pretty big game. I'm late. I don't know why folks just don't just delete games and then re-download them. Deleting and re-downloading games is hard on the drive. I mean, but what else are you supposed to do? You know, what else are you supposed to do? Just leave things there forever? Anyone else feel like the first couple of missions were fun but pointless according to the story? No. It sets the stage. What do you mean? This is gonna sound mean. I'm not trying to be mean or insulting. Were you not paying attention? Like, they're significant. You're literally trying to track this guy down. That's the whole point of the opening. That's everything is attached to that. You're peeling back these layers on something going on, and we don't even have the full scope of the picture. I'm 6 missions in, and I didn't feel like the first couple missions were pointless. You're getting thrown in the middle of a manhunt. I think they meant Gotham Knights. Wait, are you talking about Gotham Knights? If you don't buy the extra storage, it can become annoying. Yeah, I get that, but they can't even hold him, so why go after him? Well, they were going after him hoping they would get what they needed to hold him. Like, I think they assumed if they caught him, they'd have a smoking gun, right? They caught him and he was meticulous in his planning. So I actually think you're like, I get what you're saying. It did feel weird to be like, oh, now we're kind of spoiling. We're not supposed to be spoiling the story. Oh. If you're only 6 missions in, you won't be at a point I'm talking about, Lono, but there is a mission. You'll know when you get there. It's awful. There's been a few missions so far that are painful, absolutely painful, but story-wise, it's been good. I mean, I felt like there were a couple of sections where the AI was kind of annoying, and that made me concerned about, it made me concerned about the raids and the spec ops. It did. It was like, well, okay, are we gonna, is this what you guys think is difficulty? Like, enemies being aimbots as soon as you break the surface? Like, if you go back and you play, you know, a lot of the games, a lot of the old CODs, you put them on veteran, you know, they tend to do that, right? They tend to get like kind of stuck, you know, with, they tend to get a little stuck. And it's like every mission kind of feels that way. It's like, oh wow, you know, we've got them on veteran, and so like you break the plane of a door, it's like you're dead. So I'm a little concerned that their version of difficulty is gonna feel, you know, a little annoying. It's a lingering concern I have, because there were a couple of missions where I could tell, I'm like, you want this to feel intense and you want me to feel like I'm under threat, but I'm just getting aimbotted from guys I can't even see. Like there's nothing I can like peek out, like getting shot like right away. I feel like the AI just pours into rooms. They need to improve the AI big time for PvE live service content. I've felt like the AI is a threat. They talk to each other, they flank. There was only one time 3 or 4 of them kept pouring through a door, and like then they stopped, and then one of them went around. Like, I don't know, I've not felt like the AI is brain dead. Distorted says VOD difficulty has always been like that. Sure, and it makes me concerned about, like, if you're going to jump into Modern Warfare 2 raids, I don't want it to feel like that. Like, oh man, this isn't really hard. They're aimbots, you know? Like, that's not... It'll be interesting to see how they pull it off. Where's the primary pain and tension points coming from? Is it coming from the enemies never missing a shot? Or is it coming from, you know, intentional stress put on the player? Say what you want about Destiny, they're pretty good at that. They put stress on the player. They don't aimbot you. Could we get 30 more likes on the vid? If you've been enjoying the coverage and the breakdown, consider hitting subscribe so you can talk in my chat. We'd love to hear from you. What do you think of the Modern Warfare 2 campaign? The DMZ mode is going to be like an extraction survival mode like Tarkov. It's not out yet. The aimbot and armored enemies in this campaign are ridiculous. I'm playing it again on Realism, which is veteran with less HUD, and it's insane. They insta-kill you the second you peek. Yeah, the armored guys can be a little annoying, because you're just like, whack, 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 and it's like, my goodness, you know. I can eat around that fat. Any of you guys play World at War on Veteran? Yeah, World at War on Veteran was just a grenade was at your foot the whole time. It was like somebody tied a grenade to your shoe. The AI downloaded Naughty as cheese. They did. I saw a video that she got like a 0.4 at a LAN event. Call of Duty campaigns on Veteran have always been a test of your memory. Remember where the enemies are so they don't shoot you first. People want to know what raids are. All we know right now is the raids are 3-man activities where you're going to want to grind, right? You're going to want to grind Spec Ops to get up to, there's 3 different kits. You're going to want at least 1 kit up to level 5, like a 5 tier, tier 5, to take that into the raids. Apparently trying to get into Apex now. Yeah, well, when you get banned, what are you supposed to do? Gee, it's so surprising that someone accused of cheating got shadow banned and is now playing a different game. Man, who would have saw that coming? How do you feel about Resident Evil 4? We have a reaction channel, and I reacted to the trailer, and it'll hit sometime today, I think. Actually, probably sometime tomorrow. I reacted to IGN's review of Gotham Knights. I think we'll probably push that out today. We usually wait 72 hours to react to people's content, but I don't think we need to protect IGN. We're not going to hurt IGN's video. You know what I mean? Like, when it's a YouTuber, I feel like, okay, we'll wait 72 hours. But, like, IGN, their video is fine. Like, we're not going to hurt IGN if we react to their video 24 hours later. Hang on. One of the few common complaints from the first game was a lack of enemy variety, and the team at Santa Monica... Oh, this is about that. Santa Monica took criticism to heart. Even playing only 5 hours, I believe I've killed more enemy types and fought more mini-bosses and unique defeat qualifiers and designs than I did in the entirety of the first game. That's our Monday lead, no doubt. That's our Monday lead, no doubt. Which review by IGN, the performance or the full? The one where they gave it a 5. They gave it a mediocre. It wasn't the performance review. It was like the Gotham Knights review. You could hear it in the guy's voice. You could hear it in his voice. Like, it made him sad. It made him sad to say what he had to say. Yeah, I'll be playing Gotham today. It's our second stream. And somebody asked if there's a roundtable. The Reforge roundtable is changing into the Reforge rundown. It's going to be a 2-man show. It's going to be me and 30 and Still Gaming every Friday, running down the stories of the week with one strong lead, and then we'll get into, like, what did he cover? What do I think? What did I cover? What does he think? But we're not doing that this week because Gotham Knights, he's done so much coverage of Gotham, he needs to dive in today. So he relaunched his channel, and he's been covering Gotham a lot, so it didn't make much sense to, like, as soon as he's on the cusp of, like, that really big push, to be like, hey, let's do a rundown. So Fridays at noon. It'll no longer be the third segment. It'll be our second segment on Fridays. As long as there's no big game launches, he and I will be doing the Reforge rundown. Ginger got like a jobby job, so he can't make that time slot anymore. So Ginger and I are buds, remain to be buds. Nothing happened. He'll probably periodically show up on the rundown as a guest or something, but he got a job. So, like a jobby job. He's done contract work for a while, but this is like an actual regular commitment. So he couldn't make it anymore. So we're gonna bump it. To an earlier time slot, and it's just gonna be me and Mike. So a hobby job? No, a jobby job, like a jobby job. This is the most realistic Call of Duty. People complaining about armored foes is realistic. Well, I don't think they're complaining about armored foes, Clever Colt. They're saying the armored guys, when you play veteran realism, so there's no HUD, he's just saying they kill you so insanely fast. Like, they're really tanky. So, at least y'all went out with a bang. It was a heck of a debate. Yeah, the final episode with Ginger was good. Like, we had a solid disagreement. Will you be playing Sonic? Yes. How about I work with you? I'm down to stream. No, I don't do that. I don't just grab people I'm unfamiliar with and throw them on. I've had members of this community offer to be on, and I just don't want to do that. I don't want to keep forcing something that just the round table is just a bygone era, and we think that the rundown is the new iteration. It's just going to feel good to leave behind something that is still a remnant of the old days and to forge something new. You know, and Mike and I have a rapport. I think we make good content together and separately. So the roundtable is turning into the Reforge rundown, and it'll be every Friday at noon instead of 2 o'clock. So it's a little bit earlier. It'll be just me and Mike. Ginger couldn't make that time slot work anymore because he got a job. Don't know, out here acting like what he does isn't a 60 to 80 hour work week job. Oh, yeah, I mean, I work more than any traditional job I've ever had in my life. Y'all are IRL friends. Yeah, Mike and I have literally like watched our kids grow up. We went to the zoo together once when I was in Florida. Like we're like real life friends. So it just makes the show better, you know? What I'm hearing is Ginger didn't agree with Lono, so Lono banned him. You know what's funny, Robert, is people are going to think that. They're like, man, on that last episode of the Roundtable, like, Ginger disagreed with Lono, and now he's gone. Now he's gone. He got kicked off the show, right? Can we get 500 likes on this video? We only need 22 more likes. Let me throw out a discussion question for you guys, all right? Do you think that the Modern Warfare 2 campaign... Do you think the AI, how hard the AI is, do you think it's an indication that Spec Ops and the raids will be genuine endgame content for Call of Duty? The AI feels very different in this. It feels tough. Who's Ginger? Ginger Prime is another YouTuber, another content creator. He joined me for my roundtable as a host. We didn't do co-hosts. We had 3 hosts. And we did it for, I don't know what, 3 or 4 months? Yes. Does that make you more interested in the content? Like, do you guys honestly feel like they're doing some kind of an ongoing PvE strategy? I'd like to see Josh Strife. Josh is just so busy. Like, we tried to get him a number of times. So. The AI is fine. I completed every COD game on Veteran that I've played, says Paul. Lono, once you're done with Star Wars, you could always do 80s. Yeah, I want that DeLorean set. It looks so awesome. It sounds about right, says 80JC. The AI is actually hard. They really kick your butt. They do. They do. I only felt like a couple of times it felt a little cheap, but it was just, you know, it was one of those things where like, okay, I can't take that route or I can't run that way. Some of the times I just wasn't patient. They're like, stay here and cover us. And I was just trying to run up to cover them from a better vantage point. And it was more advantageous to just sit back. You know what I mean? Jumped out of my seat a few times. Yeah, breaching some of the buildings and flanking, getting flanked. I jumped a couple times too. PlayStation 5 was the top-selling gaming console in the US during September, as measured by both units and revenue. Nintendo Switch was number 2. Series X and S was the runner-up on dollars. Hardware dollar sales overall rose 19% in the month. My favorite time of the month, NPD numbers rolling out. I did not finish Modern Warfare 2 campaign. No, we'll finish it next week. Is there going to be AI bots in Ground War just like there are in Invasion? I don't know. I think so. The bots in Invasion were pretty dumb, but they kind of need to be. You can't have them running around stealing kills, and you also can't have them running around owning people. It would be really frustrating. It'd be frustrating to have them take kills from you on your own team, and it would be really frustrating to be getting just waxed by bots. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get Josh on the show, you have to dress up like Zelda. I'm doing it to myself by being on the higher difficulty setting, says Camille, but there are times where it feels like the AI pops and insta-shots me thinking that helicopter crash mission at the start. Yeah. What about snow? What do you mean? As far as I know, Ground War is just players. Yeah, I thought they just put the bots in Invasion. Like, that's the version of Ground War that's going to be like a meld of like attrition from Titanfall 1, if you guys remember that game mode. I use real-world tactics to clear rooms. One of my favorite moments was where this guy shot at me in a hallway, and I quickly strafed into a room and came behind him. It just felt organic. It didn't feel like I got funneled to an easy decision. It felt like my reflexes led to the decision. I think that's what's special about a lot of these engagements. Previously, in a lot of the Call of Duty engagements, it all feels very funneled. They funnel you to an engagement where it's sort of blatantly obvious what you're supposed to do. And the way that the gameplay unfolds in Modern Warfare 2, it doesn't feel that way. It honestly felt like my reflexes were leading to the moments. So it feels organic. It honestly has this experience of, I'm the one creating this. I'm the one making these decisions. Instead of like, oh yeah, you funneled me through a door and I came through the door and there was a guy behind a box and I went around to the right and I got behind the guy on the other side of this hallway. Like, it doesn't feel like that at all. First enemy that shoots you in the first mission insta-kills you immediately when he opens the door. Only way to win is to shoot the door before he opens it. Exactly, so well put. We are operating again. There's also a sniper mission where you're told to wait for me to tell you how much to offset your shot, and sometimes he doesn't tell you. Yeah, and then he yells at you. I had that happen on my playthrough, Camille. Yo, DP Sage hitting a whole year of membership. How's it going, brother? I barely talk in chat. I'm always here in support no matter what the topic is. Oh, and you're right about Modern Warfare 2. It's amazing. Thank you. He'll yell, but I learned to target someone else to reset it. Yeah, that did seem to reset it. You had to like look at somebody else and then come back. I had a guy in the house start firing through the wall, so I emptied a clip back. I missed. We need 7 more likes on the video, guys. It really helps us to hit those milestones, especially we're almost at the 2-hour mark on the broadcast. So thank you so much for being here and supporting us in what we do. We greatly appreciate it. And multiple channels getting content and performing well. We're really glad to see it. Thank you, everybody who just continues to support what we do. Isn't it Back to the Future Day today? I thought Back to the Future Day was always in August. I think everybody always photoshops the picture and says, today's Back to the Future Day. I thought Back to the Future Day was August like 18th or something. No one wanted the Last of Us remake, though. Last of Us Part 1 is up there with in the number 5 spot. It's only beat by FIFA, Madden, NBA, and Splatoon. Everybody, Last of Us 1. Why bother making this? I don't know. Because the month that it debuted, it's only beat by the biggest sports franchises in existence and Splatoon. It's a remake, and it's up there with those games. Back to the Future Day is celebrated on October the 21st because that's the date Marty McFly originally travels to the past. Oh, is it really October the 21st? I beat the campaign on Veteran. The mission alone was no joke. Also, you numbnuts never figured out how your hold was equal to the yardage shown in the scope retinal. What do you mean? I figured it out. He said, what did he say? 1.5 clicks, 2.5 clicks, 3 clicks. That was easy to figure out. Use the hashes. I didn't have any problem with that. My issue was he wanted me to line up the shot, so I'd have to travel really, really far to get there. And then the other thing that would happen is sometimes he wouldn't tell me. So I'm like, well, the last shot was 3. This shot was a 2, and then that shot was a 1. Like, I don't know which one. Xbox Series S is a beast. I don't get why people hate on it. Why are you saying that? Who's hating on the Series S? Did somebody tell you to come here and say that? I mean, there's plenty of reasons to be concerned about the S, since developers keep speaking out about it, and then they immediately go private on Twitter after saying it. There was a second dev that spoke out yesterday about it, then he went private on Twitter. And then people immediately are like, who is this nobody? Okay. The bottom hashes are 100 meters each. Left and right hashes are 10 meters. At the top of the scope, it would show the meters in red. Yo, what's good, Dwayne? Is that scope creep? Yeah, that's scope creep. That's what scope creep looks like. That's exactly what scope creep looks like, is when you're using the scope. All right, let me throw out another discussion question. We're running out of steam. What do you guys think about Spec Ops having you grind levels for the raids? Do you like that? Dislike it? Are you going to engage with it? Why or why not? So you're not going to be able to. Well, you are going to be able to just jump into the raids. It's a continuation of the story. However, they're going to want you to grind before you get there. They're encouraging you to grind before you get there. What do you think about that? Sound good? Sound bad? Is it something that you're going to engage with? Is there a survival mode like there is in MW3? I don't think there's going to be a survival mode. There's going to be Spec Ops, and then there's going to be raids. That's their extension of PvE content. The reason why I say that, it's because of the developers talking about it's holding back next-gen gaming. So your contribution to the discussion is, I don't understand why people are hating on it. It's a beast. Your contribution to the discussion of developers saying that it's posing a problem. The most recent developer to speak out about the Series S, he said that there are developers who are asking Microsoft to skip the S. That sounds really familiar. I wonder where we heard that before. Is there anybody on YouTube that predicted that would happen? I don't know where that person is. It's me. I'm talking about me. And then the guy goes private on Twitter. And your contribution to developers saying these things is, I don't get it, it's a beast. Like, what? Oh. Okay. Sorry, off topic, but is Modern Warfare 2 going to be on Game Pass? No. I'm glad they're focused on the PvE experience finally, says Preacher. Everything has been thrown at Warzone the last couple of years, so it's cool to see Spec Ops get some love. I'm here for it. I like it. I've always loved going for top stars in Spec Ops. Now it means something. Yeah, now it's more than just like a badge of honor. It'll have functional purpose. Though no one mentioned the S, he's just one of those people who want to talk about the Series S like a legit current gen console. Right. Depends on the XP that you get. I wish the DMZ would help level the archetype for the raids. Creature, your name is too close to Creature. I get confused. The mechanics in the raids are going to be awesome. I hope it's more mechanically challenging than just like aimbot AI challenging. Do you know what I'm saying, Dan? I'm kind of confused why Spec Ops and raids are having a leveling system. Like, what exactly is the point? Make some guesses. Why would they do that? Especially with there only being 5 levels per kit or whatever. Right, but why would they do that? Why do you think? Just, if you start throwing out some guesses, I think we can get really close to what they're doing. I think they're testing. They're testing response. They're testing scalability. They're testing. I don't think this is the end product, but I think they're testing an end game content loop. And why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? Why would you be testing those things? Because in my mind, I think they have bigger plans for Call of Duty's PvE content. I don't think this is a one-off thing. I don't think this is just like some harebrained idea. I think they're experimenting because I think they have ideas and things that they want to do. They want to do something with this game, like long term. Maybe not Modern Warfare 2, maybe the next game. But around the time that we heard whispers and rumors, and then there was an official announcement about Assassin's Creed Infinity, I started telling people that I thought that the future trend we were going to see in gaming was going to be more live service games. Now, we have Sony saying they want to have 10 live service games come out in the next like 4 or 5 years or whatever. So they are heavily investing in live service. They made that announcement after I made my prediction. And now we have Call of Duty seemingly building what looks like PvE live service framework. I think some of the biggest games in existence are going to start to say, we want that ongoing experience. We did all this work, invested in this weapon system, the sound, the cinematics, the characters, the world, and then what? People walk away from the game in 9 months? Why the frick are we doing that? I think everybody's trying to bridge the gap between one-off game deliverable and ongoing live service. They're trying to build a bridge between those two things, and I think that's what they're doing in Modern Warfare 2. I think they're trying to build that bridge. They're looking at Modern Warfare 2 and they're saying, let's not just completely bite off more than we can chew and make it a live service PvE game. Let's test some things out. Let's see what the response is. Let's see what kind of elasticity and longevity we can get out of this game. It's usually a pretty simplistic game, but can we create something that has elasticity? Something that people will keep coming back for? Can we do it? That's my prediction. I think that's what's going on. Easier, I'm sure, cheaper to add existing than to make something new. It's way cheaper, especially once you create the world. Especially once you create the world and the rules and the guns and the tool sets. If you guys are just tuning in, my Modern Warfare 2 campaign first impressions, the thumbnail says it all. Don't skip this COD. This Call of Duty is easily the best I've ever played in the franchise. I've actually said it's the best shooter I've ever played. Not since Titanfall 2 have I played a first-person shooter campaign that felt and looked this good. This is new territory. Even people who are not fans of Call of Duty should get this game and play it. Wouldn't it have the same problem as Division? Shooting dudes with guns gets old? Well, what is in the campaign that would give you a reason to have stronger weapons or kits or tool sets? What have you seen in the campaign? I'm 6 missions in. I've seen body armor, helmet armor, and I've seen shields. And I'm only 6 hours in. You also have to consider, too, they could get into future warfare with, robots, turrets, all sorts of things. You don't need some guy in a hoodie running up to you and taking tons of shots. That's one heck of an endorsement. The campaign looks amazing. I mean, Toasty, you're familiar with my content. I don't throw around high praise very easily. And this game absolutely blew me away and stunned me. After I hooked it up to my TV last night and turned on the 120 hertz mode and I replayed some of the missions, the night vision mission, at one point my wife looked at the screen. She's like, "Are you playing?" She thought it was like pre-recorded real-world footage. She didn't think it was the game yet. I was like, "No, that's me playing, babe. That's night vision. I'm in control." She looked up from her phone. She was doing something. She looked up and she was like, "Are you playing right now?" I was like, "Yes." It's unbelievable. It's stunning. I don't think it falls short in any category. The voice acting, the cinematics, the storytelling, the gameplay, the sound design is just absolute chef's kiss. I still feel Titanfall 2 is better, but that's simply due to me being a sucker for sci-fi. Titanfall 2's campaign is also pretty short, too. This thing's like 7 to 10 hours. Isn't the Titanfall 2 campaign like 3 to 4? I don't think that campaign was very long. A little while ago we said campaign length isn't that important, but Titanfall 2 single-player campaign clocks in at an average of 6. That's actually pretty good. That's a little bit longer than I remembered. That's actually pretty good. Game of the Year contender? I believe so. I believe it will be nominated for Game of the Year. Everything we're looking at for Ragnarok, I think Ragnarok takes it. I think Elden Ring was the leader. I think Ragnarok's bigger and better than many people are considering. The early previews and reviews are hitting today, and they are glowing. Like glowing. And I think Modern Warfare 2 will be nominated. I think your 5 nominations for Game of the Year is Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, Modern Warfare 2, God of War Ragnarok. Those are your 4 big boys. And then I think Stray gets like an honorable mention. How do I do that? You mean do it right now? I can. I didn't get a pop-up in the app, though, Creature. Are you trying to do it right this minute? Where's Titanfall 3? I don't know. Call of Duty Game of the Year nomination? No, yeah, I 100% think it's going to get a nomination. I do. You can wait. I mean, do it now. I can pull the app up and get you in. Just tell me when. It's like 2 seconds. Cat game, no. No, I think Stray gets an honorable mention. I think Stray is going to get nominations and awards. I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year, though. It's saying that you didn't do the phone verification. Oh, I did the phone verification, but it was before we changed it to a brand channel. I don't know why it's saying that. I thought it imported everything over. Hang on one second. I swear to you I did this already. All right, settings. Feature eligibility. It says videos over 15 minutes, custom thumbnails, live streaming is enabled. That's the phone thing that you have to do. That's enabled. And then it says video verification is pending. Are you sure? It's saying that I did it, Creature. I don't have the ability to do it again. Standard features and intermediate features are available, and then advanced features are pending because they have to watch that video of my face or whatever. So I can't do anything else. Is the campaign worth $70? Yes. I think anybody right now with a next-gen console should buy this game, no question. I think even if you're not a fan of Call of Duty, you should be getting this game and playing it. Just have to wait. What are you trying to do? To make external links clickable. First, no, hang on. Let me do that. This usually takes 24 hours. No, yeah, I clicked it, Creature. It says video verification in review. This usually takes 24 hours. You can check the status of your request or delete your video in your Google account. What? "24 hours? It should be done by now. It's been well long enough. Why would it be telling me to delete the video? Like, I can do it again? Yeah, when I go to feature eligibility, it just says pending. It says it's got like a timer on it. Your video verification is in review. This usually takes 24 hours. You can delete it at any time in your Google account. So, yeah, they just haven't looked at it yet. So for now, we just can't have links. I mean, that's not a big deal for now. You know, we can launch without that. Dismiss. Oh, I forgot to check the dashboard. Yeah, the Dead Space video has been cleared. Those frickin' morons. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't wait to go live. Creature. I would just go live with whatever you've got. We don't need links. We can add the links. Later. Because no, Dan. We're doing something with another channel. The guys that mass reported the Dead Space video, it got cleared within hours. Like, I requested a review and I woke up this morning and it was back to normal. So it was clear they mass reported it. Any live employee from YouTube looked at that video and they knew exactly what happened. They're like, oh wow, here's a video with 40,000 views, a bunch of dislikes, and a bunch of haters in the comments. Gee, I wonder what happened. And then they cleared it. Wait on the new links. Yeah. I'm not worried about links in the descriptions. We don't necessarily need that to push the videos live. Smashville with a $5 tip through Super Chat. I ran the MW2 audio through my soundboard. My girlfriend freaked out. She kept asking if someone was outside. And where are tarps? Yeah, dude. It sounds incredible. It sounds so good. It's crazy. Imagine catering your market over a game company. Not going to happen. What are you guys debating now? CMA cannot stop this deal. This is an American company. Only thing that will happen. I don't know why people keep thinking that the CMA can't stop the deal when the deal is stopped because of the CMA. Are you paying attention? Like, are you actually paying attention and reading articles, or are you just being like, yo, you can't stop an American company? Well, the CMA is doing that right now. So I don't know what universe you live in, but that it's quite literally happening. You watch Hogue Law? Great. Is he the arbiter of all things international law and acquisitions? He could be mistaken or wrong or incorrect. How can you say they can't stop the deal when they're literally stopping the deal right now? Like, fundamentally, the deal could go through without their approval, but then that would cause drastic ramifications globally for all of the property that gets purchased. I think the deal's going through, by the way. Don't hear me saying this as like, oh, I'm like against the deal or the deal's not going through. The deal's going to go through, but the CMA is in a position to stop or slow things down. They're literally doing it right now. Overall, they won't stop the deal. They just want to impose fees on them in the UK, which then they could take the game from the UK. Yeah. I don't think they would fundamentally want to block them from doing business in the UK. I think that would be damaging to the UK economy. So I think ultimately the deal goes through, but the CMA 100% can slow down the deal and potentially stop it, because Microsoft would be like, well, we don't want to do this. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not stopping it by saying, stop, you can't do this, but they in effect could stop it with their lack of approval. This campaign was by far the best Call of Duty campaign I've played since the original. I agree with you. Now you're living. They didn't stop it. They're still investigating, but they are not the 100% sole decider. I didn't say they're the 100% sole decider, but saying they can't stop it when they're actively stopping it sounds weird to me. They just stopped Facebook from buying Giphy. Do you still think the CMA can't affect what happens with an American-owned company? That's what I'm saying. Are you guys reading the headlines? The CMA just stopped Facebook from buying Giphy. That just went through. They blocked deals. They had the power to block a deal. I don't know. Like, I'm not sitting here saying pro CMA, pro UK, this deal's not happening. That's not what I'm saying. But quit kidding yourself if you think like this deal's untouched. Like, oh yeah, it's going to be fine. Nothing's going to happen. It's going through without a hitch. I don't know about that. I wouldn't be quite that confident yet. Yeah, the EU hasn't even started their investigation. This thing's a long way from closing. A long way from closing. I think it ultimately does close. Keep beating on this drum, but they've been testing PvE things in Call of Duty Cold War where they had visible health bars like in live service games. Yeah? Yeah? Campaign 7-10 hours long. Mm-hmm. This is the UK. They've messed our economy up without this deal. We're capable of effing up our own. Thank you, sir. That's right. You using the word stop is confusing. It's stalling them. So when you stop at a stop sign, green side, are you stopping or are you stalling? Like, the word stop has a range of meaning. The deal is currently stopped, right? And they could, in effect, stop it permanently, because if they don't approve it, it could wreck the deal. Because then it'd be like, well, if this is going to happen and then the EU steps in and they don't approve the deal, well, then we don't want to do this. It's going to limit the scope of our product reach too much. You see what I'm saying? The deal's currently stopped. That's fair to say. I'm not trying to say they blocked the deal, like it can't go through. But don't act like the CMA has no power to stop the deal when they've actively stopped it and said, no, it's not going forward. We're investigating this. We're going to a second level. It stopped. Like, what? There's a difference between blocked and stopped. They haven't blocked it. They can't block Microsoft from doing it. Multinational corporations have to abide by, wait for it, the laws of multiple nations. Right. Like, this isn't as simple as everybody's making it. I push back on people saying the CMA can't stop this. This is a United States company. And I'm like, I don't think you understand the scope of what's happening right now. The CMA can 100% stop this deal from going through. They can't block Microsoft from doing it. But they could stop it by being like, nope, we don't approve it. And then the deal would be so unappealing at the cost that it's costing Microsoft that it wouldn't go through. They wouldn't do it. A lot of jobs and tax revenue are affected by this, especially if Microsoft tinkers with the Pro Xbox PC and it hurts the other competitors. CMA can truly only block it in the UK, but taking those UK sales away could make the deal not worth it. That's exactly the point that I'm making. Like, I know the UK is a drop in the bucket globally for gaming, gaming sales generation, but that might matter in the grand scheme of the deal and in the grand scheme of what Microsoft wants to do. Hellfire, thanks for jumping back in as a member. Like, I'm not, like, you have to understand, you're a drop in the bucket. Listen, I'm really, dude, listen, Valiant, I'm sorry, okay? I'll go to the store, I'll buy a box of tea, and I'll go throw it in the Ohio River, and I'll film a short and be like, this one's for you, right? But, UK market's pretty big, like 9th in the world. Yeah, you can't just, like, shake off a whole market and be like, we'll be fine. Like, that's a lot of loss. That's a lot of loss. Yeah, it's a great meme format. It really is fuzzy. Using the word stop would maybe mean no more investigation. They're looking into it, so I wouldn't say the deal has stopped. Okay, if we want to get pedantic and persnickety about whether I say stopped, stalled, paused, they froze the frame, it doesn't matter. The point I was making, the overarching point I was making, Greenside, is strutting around and flexing like the CMA can't stop this because this is an American company fundamentally misunderstands what's going on. This deal is so much bigger than America. We do what we want. Can't wait for these Brits to get out of the way. No. They 100% had the power to stop the deal. They have at least temporarily stopped it right now. And the EU hasn't gotten involved, and the EU does not like tech mergers. They don't like them. You got to see this. You got to see this is so much bigger than America. Yeah, we're gonna buy up this company. Like, no, that's not what's going on, bro. It's not that simple. That's what I was pushing back on. Whatever word you want to use, my friend, use it. You can use whatever word you want. Stalled, paused, stopped, doesn't matter. The CMA is in a position of power to shut this thing down because they could alter the deal to the point that Microsoft doesn't want to do it. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Greenside. I wasn't trying to convey this idea that the CMA is going to block the deal in its entirety. When I said stop, I wasn't saying that. Right? Stop, stall, pause. You can use whichever word you want. It doesn't bother me at all. As long as you acknowledge the fact that the CMA is not something to like just shrug at and be like, oh, well, they can't really do anything. Yes, they can. They most certainly can. And they're showing that right now. And As Eugene has pointed out many times, wait till the EU gets involved. They have a track record of not being fond of tech mergers like this. They don't like them. So they have a vested interest in being like, convince us. Convince us that this is good. Convince us that this will be fine. Is this real? Sony accidentally pressed the Bloodborne button on Twitter, inadvertently sending the games into fandom crazy. Yeah, somebody who runs the Sony Twitter account is just an absolute dum-dum. They literally tweeted can you guess what game this is? And everyone lost their freaking minds. Well, apparently they do that regularly with both movie posters and game posters. They'll take like a zoomed in screenshot and they'll be like, can you guess what this is? Everybody got really angry. What did Unwound say? I'm having a hard time following why the Country Music Association has anything to do with the Microsoft deal. The CMAs, baby. The Country Music Awards. Shh, don't tell the heads of the U.S. regulatory structures are anti-tech mergers too. Yeah, the regulators in the U.S., they don't like tech mergers either. They're not super fond of them. Akuda Papa with a $10 tip through Super Chat. In the long run, the CMA has no power. Microsoft and Activision could say F you and merge once the U.S. courts are fine. The problem is they could be banned in other countries. Akuda Papa, that's true, but consider this. If the CMA says no, you don't think the U.S. court system is going to be affected by that? You think the CMA and the EU say no way to this, and the U.S. is like, that's fine. If the CMA says no, it will 100% influence what the United States regulators decide. They're not going to be like, well, it's fine. Push it through. Like, the United States regulators have already expressed that they're not super fond of big tech mergers and consolidation. So you can't look at the United States regulators' posture and be like, no, this would be totally fine, even if the CMA says no. Oh, no way. Are you kidding me? The deal doesn't go through without European approval. Yeah, if the European regulators say no to this, if the UK says no to this, there's no way the US is going to be just shrugging at that and saying, oh, I'm sure it'll be totally fine. No way. I don't think they have a direct causal relationship where the UK can say blocked, stopped, can't do it. But if they say no, that shockwaves. It'll reverberate and it probably won't go through. You will increase the likelihood of this thing not happening by a significant margin if the UK and the EU weigh in and say no. People don't realize the FTC is doing the same thing right now behind closed doors. It's just not public. CMA is big, but I think the bigger factor for the U.S. will be the European regulators. Even if the U.S. approves it after that, the deal is no longer a good business deal for Microsoft. Did CMA stop it because of Sony? No. The CMA expressed their own concerns. They did mention Sony, but they're not like doing it for Sony. Like, that's such a weird take too. I literally saw a guy claiming that like Sony must be paying them. What the frick? You think a Japanese-owned company is over here like what, sliding money under the table to the UK? I highly doubt that's happening. But I feel like this is all building up to the UK being a bad guy again. Well, Brits make the best villains. Don't they? You know? They always got some cowboy American Yank trying to save the day. You know? And then you got Germans, Russians, and Brits. They make the best villains. You know? There was that great interview with that German guy. And the guy asked him, he's like, you know, what do you think about movies always portraying Germans as the bad guy? And he's like, Are you a student of history? He like, yeah, this amazing German accent. He's like, have you studied history at all? There's a reason for this. It was very funny. I don't even remember who that was. Was it Conan? Yeah, have you read our history? That's it. Yeah. Have you read our history? It was Conan O'Brien, wasn't it? And he was interviewing this guy. It was so funny. He has this real charming German accent. It was perfect. It was just such a perfect moment because even I'm pretty sure it was Conan. He couldn't keep it together. Or was it Fallon? Flula on Conan. Yeah. It was Conan. Conan couldn't even keep it together. He laughed. I think his name is Flula. Flula Borga, somebody says. After being on a live stream for 8 hours with Hogue, a lot of what the CMA is doing is wrong. They tried to separate Nintendo from the market. Again, you're taking it as if Hogue is right and the CMA is wrong. Like, oh, wait, okay. What if Hogue is wrong? Why is Hogue correct about the entirety of the situation? Like, let me guess, they tried to separate Nintendo from the market. Let me guess, Hogue thinks that Nintendo's been just fine without Call of Duty. I'm just stabbing in the dark here. Is that a position that Hogue takes? That well, Nintendo's fine without Call of Duty, so Sony would be fine too. I swear, if he trots out that argument, I don't know why you would consume the content after that. Is that one of his positions? That's one of my favorite takes. Wouldn't surprise me at all if that take people trot out all of the time originated from some video like that. Hogue's not a fanboy? I didn't say Hogue was a fanboy. But people continue to try to do that with Nintendo. Well, Nintendo does just fine without Call of Duty. Oh, okay. Are you making a valid point? Because it doesn't sound like it. So if he took issue with them separating Nintendo from the market, it makes me wonder, is that his position? Well, Nintendo's fine without COD, so would Sony. Like, where's he land on that? Because that's where that sounds like that's going. Activision Blizzard is doing well right now. Don't misconstrue that they need the deal to survive. Hogue's pretty sensible. He's a mergers lawyer. And knows he's ignorant to foreign law. Like, I don't know. I think what Eugene's saying has to be considered. Like, he's a lawyer, but he's also a YouTuber. So, I don't know. He said Nintendo was too much of a family platform or something like that, and Nintendo has Pokemon, don't need COD. Sony would be okay without COD. The question is, would COD be okay without Sony? The answer is no. Well, and why did the First Look channel change? Because we're launching First Look. We're relaunching it on a smaller channel. That big channel's dead. That channel's dead, bro. We are literally throwing content away on that channel. So we will be directing you guys to a new place for First Looks. We will be directing you to a new channel for First Looks. And we'll let you know when that is. We realized that we were wasting time, so it's a shame. Yeah, I named the channel Disagree Input Delay. Creature wanted to call it Input Delay. I called it Disagree Input Delay. We came together on that. That was a collaborative effort. Could vlog save it? No. Channel's dead. Channel's dead in the water. No. You guys can help us get the new channel monetized. We'll probably do a couple premieres and redirects and raids to get some of you subbed over there, get some of the vids doing well, and then we'll just let that channel We'll just let the new channel kind of hum on its own. Like, I literally watched 30 and Still Gaming launch a new channel, and he's kicking out Gotham coverage, and the viewership's insane. And I'm taking first looks of really relevant games, brand new games, and they're going nowhere. And it's like, F this channel. Not the one you're on right now, a separate channel. A separate channel with like 45,000 subscribers. It's just dead. There's nothing, we can't do anything with it. What will be the new channel cover? I don't know. I don't know. If we do anything with that bigger channel, we'll let you know. It's sitting there, and we'll do something with it if we feel it makes sense. But for now, it doesn't make sense to do anything with it. The First Look OG channel, well, I don't know. But I know for a fact I can upload first looks of video games on a brand new channel and get way more views than we're getting over there. It's like, why are we bothering with this? No, it didn't get a shadow ban, Paul. When you have 45,000 subscribers and none of them watch your content, YouTube doesn't do anything with your content. It's like, this content's dead. This channel is dead. So, it's a bummer, but it's the reality. I know a lot of you are double dipping. Feel free to come over here and turn yourself into a tier 2, and then that'll give me motivation to start cranking out tier 2 and above coverage over here. Right? Give me a reason to do that. You know, there's no reason to double dip anymore. Just bring it home. Come over here and do a tier 2. I would love to see the tier 2 funnel over here fill. You know, it's better for this channel, it's better for me, and then we could create more content. T-shirt today is awesome. Thank you. We will be playing Gotham Knights shortly. We will be. Notice I'm still a member on the Reacts channel. I mean, you guys can feel free to do that. Like, that's helping the Reacts channel actually generate revenue, because the Reacts channel is new too, but, you know. Yeah, if you guys want to keep memberships on Reacts and here, or, you know, you can be a member on all the channels, but this is the channel that gets members-only content. Gonna full delete. Well, we're gonna let it wind down, Siege, because it still helps me. It still helps me pay bills. And if I'm honest, we're just gonna let it sit. There will come a day where we just nuke the site from orbit. Like a member on all over and a tier 2 here. I appreciate that. Like, if you guys are doing that, that's amazing. That's amazing. Like, we need this channel to just keep humming. Like, I need this channel to be always above 2,000 members and just keep growing. And then we can get ourselves in the position where, you know, I'm not worried anymore. We're not telling one to not keep a membership on other channels, but if you want the bang for your buck, you're better off being a tier 2 here, right? I will be playing Gotham Knights on the PlayStation 5. I'm considering getting it on the PC so I can compare, but I don't think that there's a point in doing that any longer. After the reviews, even the reviews for PC are bad. A $5 tip from Dan. Congratulations on the new channel. It's like having a baby together, just you and I. What? Weird? T-Bone just upgraded to tier 2. Thank you so much. Yeah, tier 2 here, and then Reacts and coffee. Help me, I'm trapped. That's right. Thank you for the $5 tip, Dan. Can you not purge the subs? Nope. Raijin, if I could push a button to make people unsub from my channel if they've not watched content after... Like, if you've not watched a single video after 6 months, I should be able to purge you from my channel. I should be allowed to do that because it's my channel. Like, I would do that with updates. You know? I would do that with this channel. Every once in a while, you just want to purge it, right? Hey, that's awesome. We're at, let's say we're at 31,000 subs, and I go to push that button, and they're like, you're going to lose 2,000 subs. I'd be like, do it. Do it. Like, I don't care. What difference does it to make to me? If you've not consumed any of my content in 6 months, why in the frick are you subbed to my channel? Bye. That's my attitude, because you're just hurting the channel at that point. It's my channel. I should 100% be able to do that. Like, hey, man, like, you're just dead weight. I'd run a purge every Friday if that was an option. Like, I don't know why YouTube doesn't give us that option, because all you end up on a channel is you just look bloated. It's like, oh wow, you got 50,000 subs and look at your viewership, and it's like, yeah, I got 20,000 engaged subscribers. You know what I mean? Doesn't YouTube do that periodically? They do that with accounts that are clearly dead and not active. That's not the same. If you're active on YouTube and you don't watch my content for 6 months, I should have every right to bump you from being a sub on my channel. What's the point? And you just seeing my videos in your feed, you don't even see my videos in your feed at that point. If you get that long out and you haven't been watching my content, you don't even know I exist at that point. You don't see any of my videos, so why would I keep you, why would you stay subbed? You know what I mean? $2 tip from Super Gaming. God of War Ragnarok has 120 FPS mode. It has 4 different modes. Yep. It's 4 different modes, but, you know, has 4 different modes. And but these consoles are too weak, bro. Consoles are too weak, bro. Too weak to do 60. Just too hard, man. We get people in here asking when Lono cut his hair, so YouTube does a terrible job purging. Yeah. That's right. Campaign early access? Oh, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, I agree with Corey. I don't think Modern Warfare 2 will be in Game Pass, and there's a really easy reason to think that. They're in a contract with Sony. If you have you not been paying attention? Like, Modern Warfare 2 is in a contract with Sony. If you haven't noticed that, you're not paying attention. So I don't see Modern Warfare 2 ever being on Game Pass. I mean, the only way it's going to be on Game Pass is like years in the future. 2 or 3 years in the future. It would not matter. It would matter. You haven't done research into this. Resident Evil Village was not on Game Pass because they were in a marketing contract with Sony, and Sony wanted right of refusal. So there's no way that Sony is going to enter into a marketing contract with Modern Warfare 2 and allow it to be on Game Pass. Dono cut his hair? You mean it hasn't always looked this good? That's right. I was wondering why I could see more of his shirt. Microsoft would own the IP. Okay, owning the IP doesn't void previous contracts. You understand how that works, right? Like, when Microsoft bought Bethesda, all previous contracts were given precedence. Like, they're not over at that point. I don't know why you keep making that joke, T-Bone. I just don't get it. You've made that joke so many times. Like, let's take a screenshot from Lono main stage hosting E3 2019. I don't understand. Getting Gotham Knights Copium in the God of War subreddit. Different game. God of War doesn't have dynamic open world attributes. I'm going to play Gotham Knights here in a little bit. I can't wait to experience those open world dynamic attributes. I will not be streaming more of Modern Warfare 2 today. Well, I don't think so. I want to, but some of these PC requirements, no wonder they can only do 30 FPS on console. A 3600 and 2070 for min specs is kind of high. Pushing that new GPUs. What's the PO box address? I just made some. Oh, that's I'm sorry. That's like, I'm not. There's nothing. I don't know what's happening. It's not funny. That's not funny. That's disgusting. Fanboys think Microsoft is doing this deal for them. They don't want to acknowledge that the CMA can make the deal so unattractive that Microsoft will walk away. Member stream is Modern Warfare 2 continuation. What's wrong with the Jesus haircut joke? But that's not a Jesus haircut joke. You've made that joke before with that picture about a Blockbuster manager. Like, I don't understand. I mean, that's an era of time. That's an era of time that we don't really like to reminisce about either. Like, read the room, bro. Let's take screenshots from when he got to host E3. Like, I don't know what you're doing, bro. You're struggling to read the room. I don't feel like this is the first time either. Do you have any screenshots of when I covered Destiny 2? You want to make some jokes about that? Do you have any screenshots from when I streamed on Purple? You want to make some jokes about that? You know who I'm hosting for in that picture, right? You know what that jacket's from, that purple jacket. You don't know what that's from? You don't know where that purple jacket's from? Like, Jiminy frickin' Christmas. Predator upgraded to a tier 2. I didn't watch you back then. How did you find the screenshot? Like, that's what I'm saying. How did you find the screenshot? Like, that's such a random screenshot to have saved on your hard drive. It's just weird, bro. I appreciate you upgrading to tier 2, Predator. Like, a couple times you've done it, I just haven't acknowledged it. But like, it's like the third or fourth time you've made the joke and used the picture, and I'm like, bro, why are you poking me on scar tissue? I don't get it, bro. I don't understand what's happening. Don't let it disturb your peace. I'm at peace with it. It's just weird to have a community member doing that. It's just awkward. It's like, I don't understand what's going on. No, T-Bone's been around a long time. That's why it's just confusing me. It's disorienting. When I see long-standing members doing stuff like that, it disorients me. It's like, what's happening right now? Paul probably has a folder of Lono pics. He shared it. I don't think so. I don't think that's from Paul. What time are you jumping into Gotham? In about 20 minutes, we'll be jumping over to Gotham. If it was just a simple faux pas, no worries. No worries. I'm not mad at you. I wasn't sure what was going on. It was, like I said, it was just disorienting. Yo, 8 minutes ago, Animes grabbed a best of both worlds combo, a light roast and a dark roast. Thank you for all you and your family do. Excited to try the coffee. I'm so glad that you bought it for the first time. I hope you enjoy it. Well, I'm confident you will. All of our first-time buyers have a very high repurchase pattern. Fanboys want to be told what they want to hear. Anything to the contrary makes them upset. Thanks for the warning. Are you playing Man of Medan tonight? I was kind of wanting to buy one of the other Dark Anthology games on Sony because I played Man of Medan with Hilly, and I'm worried that'll kind of sour the experience of jump scares and stuff. Like, I'll see things coming. So I was considering buying one of the other ones. Like, Little Hope was really enjoyable because we had no idea what was going on. I played Man of Medan with Hilly, and I remember it actually locking up a lot too. You know what I'm saying? There's other Dark Anthology games in the PlayStation Store, and unfortunately, I didn't want to have to necessarily pay for them because it's like, these aren't the kind of games that I typically like to play. Like, I like playing them with my wife. Yeah, Little Hope and Man of Medan are there. It doesn't seem like there's any more. Yeah, they just added those two. I don't see any of the other Dark Anthology games. If I search PS Plus for Dark, I think it's just those two. It's Dark Anthology, isn't it? Yeah. Oh no, it's Dark Pictures. Hang on. Let me just make sure. Let's just see. wall. Yeah, I searched for Dark Pictures, and I'm not even seeing the other one. The search engine for Sony is so terrible. Like, I'm literally searching for Dark Pictures, and it's not even finding the Little Hope one. How are you not finding the Little Hope game? I'm typing out Dark Pictures Anthology, and now Little Hope shows up. Like, I had to type out the word anthology. Like, whatever they use for their backbone to search games on Sony, it's freaking terrible. They're like choose your own adventure books. Yeah, like if I go to the store in PlayStation and I search for Dark Anthology, I think there's another one on here I've never played. The Devil in Me, and then House of Ashes. Oh, House of Ashes is on a huge sale right now. Wait, isn't House of Ashes the continuation of Little Hope? It's $15. House of Ashes. Wait. Yeah, House of Ashes, Man of Medan, and Little Hope is like the triple pack. This product entitles you. Dark Pictures is a series of standalone. House of Ashes, the clothes are grow special forces, hunting weapons. No, it's not the continuation. I'll just grab House of Ashes. I can download a free trial. It would probably hit the time limit though. It's $15. It's on sale until November the 3rd. I think I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna grab it. Instead of being like 30 or $40, it's 15. So we'll just play that tonight instead of Man of Medan. I was like, Man of Medan is probably great, but like I said, I already played it with Hilly, so a lot of the good moments are gonna get completely ruined. Because it's like we're gonna kind of know what's coming. That game should be free. No, Man of Medan and Little Hope are free on PS Plus. The other Dark Anthology games are not free. I still think Until Dawn is free on PS Plus. Game Pass dropped a few horror games. Yeah, I think the choose your own adventure ones are perfect for me and Madam. Like, The Quarry was just so fun, and then Little Hope was a lot of fun. I already did a reaction to the Resident Evil trailer. It should hit sometime today. It'll hit sometime today. All right, we are going to be shifting gears here in a second to Gotham Knights. I hope a bunch of you stick around. If you've been a fan of my Modern Warfare 2 coverage, make sure you're subscribed with the bell button. Make sure every day that you check for my streams, don't just check your YouTube homepage. Always remember to check your sub tab. I'll always be there, right? I'll always be there. So if you're interested in Gotham Knight gameplay, I'll be playing on PS5 momentarily. Please don't leave. Don't go anywhere. I know. I bought it. I told people I was going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm like, listen, it's going to be bad, and I'm not afraid to show it. I don't want to hear from people about how you didn't play it. So we're going to be playing it, all right? I will be continuing the Modern Warfare 2 campaign next week on Monday and Tuesday. That should be enough time to beat it. And then Monday morning, we should have a really, really great lead and story about God of War. There's really good stuff coming out from the devs and from Sony. Hey, another order of coffee. Taco picked up the Best of Both Worlds combo. Actually, no, they picked up 2 of the Best of Both Worlds combos. 2 light roasts and 2 dark roasts. Thank you so much, Taco. If you guys have not enjoyed an order of Reforge roast, it is not a sponsor. Here at Reforge Gaming, we have our own coffee. Be sure to check it out. Don't go anywhere. Smash the like button. Keep it here. Consider gifting some members or becoming a member. We could get a little train going before we switch to Gotham. Try and create a good mood before we go over and play this game. I'll be right back. Yeah, we actually, AOZ, we're going to have some Reforge merch very soon. Right now you can buy Reforge Roast merch, but all of the Reforge gaming memes and stuff, yeah, we're going to have a whole storefront. We've just been really busy with a lot of other things, but Creature he'll build that eventually and we'll have that for you. So, I ordered the camera and everything I need for the camera this morning for the Lego channel, and the wish list just continues to get people to buy stuff for it. We re-added another advent calendar Lego set because we're like, oh, that makes it for such great daily content, on the Lego channel when we launch it, and then my kids can have one. Like, I didn't want to take that from them, so we put another one on there. So does Creature sleep? Minimal sleep, yeah. You Sony fanboys act like Microsoft won't try to profit off of PS Now and put COD on there for you too. No. Lego channel I must have. Yeah, so some people have already kickstarted the Lego channel. We have a bunch of Lego sets on the wish list if you use the wish list command. And I always had Legos as a kid. Always got Legos for my birthday and for Christmas. And for my son's birthday, I helped him put together a TIE Fighter. And then we went to the Lego store. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could spend a fortune in here. And my wife was always like, we never know what to get you. And I would always just be like, get me t-shirts for my birthday and Christmas. So I told people, I was like, man, I would love to just start getting Legos. And I had a picture of me doing the TIE Fighter. I separated the pieces according to size and according to texture. And Creature's like, bro, I didn't know you like Lego this much. You could totally do a channel and just do it casually, periodically, record you working on some stuff. And so I said, well, let's see if people want to kickstart it. And so we kicked out some sets on the wish list, and people bought some. And so you guys can kind of determine what we build by buying stuff off the wish list, or you can make recommendations like, hey, here's a really awesome set. I actually have some old classic sets that I'm going to get when I'm in Ohio for Thanksgiving. We had some classic Lego sets that I thought had been lost to time. But there's a castle, and there's a space spacewalker set. Oh gosh, we're gonna hit 3 hours. I didn't want to hit 3 hours. I wasn't paying attention. Hang on. I'm gonna do a really quick switch here. I don't want this to be longer than this broadcast to be longer than 3 hours. All right, if redirect typically doesn't work for you, then click the link in chat. Nah, I'm gonna be too slow. Dang it. Thanks so much for clicking on the video. We're diving into Gotham Knights gameplay live. I have been very harsh on this game and critical of everything I've seen up to now. I did play through the opener. I got 20 minutes of gameplay in for our first look channel, and I did not want to have to hear from people about how I didn't play the game. I don't know how good the game is. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I will be playing it for about as long as I can tolerate. We also do talk shows and coverage here, so make sure and hit subscribe and the bell button if you like my content, if you like my outlook. I tried to warn people about how not great this game is. I'm going to end the previous stream about Modern Warfare 2's campaign and bring everybody over from that. Make sure you guys all come over and smash the like button. We got tons of likes.